This is the Mountainside Podcast, and joining us in studio is Mountainside's own Matty Ghost. He's one of my newest partners and team members here. This guy covers all the bases when it comes to the tech world. He's a music producer and so much more. I value any time I get to spend with Matt. He always makes me laugh, and I know that you'll enjoy this conversation. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
This is fucking awesome. I always forget to sip.
Yeah.
You know, too busy podcasting.
You have to I heard you have to look someone in the eyes when you do it too, or it's bad luck.
Oh, really?
So
Shit, we better do it again.
And then you have to sip and awkwardly.
No blinking.
Just like that.
And then a slam.
Boom.
Hell yeah. Dude, fucking great to have you here, man.
Thank you, dude.
You are my new ride or die.
Right.
I got a couple ride or dies.
That's good.
But Matty...
Glad to be part of the team.
In the fucking house, dude. And not the newest member to the Mountainside team, but since last year, right?
MVP since October. That's when I became, I hit the free agency market.
I mean, the biggest reason why I wanted to have you on is, dude, we have so much fun outside of the podcast. I wanted to shed a light on you. Dude, you have this crazy career that you live like multiple lives almost, right?
Yeah, I kind of have an existential crisis about it all the time.
Do you?
Trying to figure out who I am.
No, man, but you got a very lucrative music career happening. You edit because you love it. You're working for me because you love it. It's not for the money so much right now, right? No. Hopefully in the future.
I'm like opposite, because you always have these big dogs on the podcast, like fighters, mountain men, like pro athletes, like these big dogs. I'm like an indoor cat. Like I'm the exact opposite of all. I like stay in the basement.
Dude, I love it.
It's my life.
The best part about this show, and if you would call it a show or podcast, whatever, is I get to do whatever the fuck I want. And this is what I want to do, man. These are my favorite. Not that anybody that I've had on, I don't want to talk to. Every one of them I want to talk to, or they don't come on the podcast.
Yeah.
But like, these are the most fun because I'm the most relaxed. Like, I don't have any nerves. Like
it must be nice, dude. I'm like, what do I do?
You got this.
I usually just hit the buttons.
You're right.
That's what there's a video of me as a little kid that my parents, they got all the tapes digitized of growing up. And there's one of me like playing a little keyboard piano. I'm like, I push buttons all day. And my parents still reference that. They're like, you still pushing buttons all day? And I'm like, you know it.
Hell yeah, at a high level. What's crazy is since you've come on board, we had a full-on like production team that was helping me before. That it was like a service, right? And nothing against those guys. It was great what they did. With verbal SEO. But it was just never to the caliber of like the shorts that I wanted to put out. They just didn't get it creatively, right? And I found out one reason why I moved away from it is I found out that they were sending the editing like overseas. Yeah. So I was like, hey, just let me talk to the editors. I'm sure I can give them some creative direction.
Child labor
on what I want to
editing going on,
bro. I don't know.
Interesting.
So who knows? But I was like, once I found that, I was like, okay, I got to move away from this. So as soon as that contract came up, it was like perfect timing. You were exiting another podcast.
Yeah.
And I loved your style. So we connected. But since then, it's crazy. Our growth has been exponential on YouTube. I mean, it's up like 5,000%.
Yeah, like and subscribe, guys, please.
Hell yeah.
Helps us all.
And not only that, like, we're getting DMs, we're getting emails. Like, it's awesome to see your growth. I love the clips. Or it's crazy how many people are taking in the podcast now just from the shorts.
Yeah,
like
that's
we
big.
are doing more downloads on shorts than we are on some podcasts. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, you kind of have to hack I was talking to you about hacking like the mental, what the viewer on the shorts sees. Like, okay, when you're going through TikTok, do you want to see a talking head or do you want to see some action clip first? And then it goes into like, there's guys that make bunches of money off of just silent or like faceless channels, they call them. And they just like AI script something and they put pictures on. And those are like the things that pop up all the time.
Because they're just getting into the algorithm somehow?
Yeah, it's like people don't want to see talking faces, but if you have like these crazy pictures and images with like a story underneath, that's where I think you can grab people.
Well, I always wonder about like one of my favorite Instagram follows, and I think we brought it up on the last couple podcasts, was Nature's Metal, right?
Yeah, like
I fucking love that
deadanimals.com.
page. Yeah. But that's just a page, man. Like somebody's making a full on like living off of that. Like
Yeah,
they
and they're
sell t-shirts. They have badass stuff. It's a badass follow. The content's amazing. But basically they're just using other people's content and just
aggregation.
Yeah. It's what would you call it? A compilation of a bunch of people's stuff. Really.
Yeah. That page is wild too.
It's so wild.
I can't follow that. Like I have Twitter and it's just like death, boobies, political, death, boobies, political. I'm like, I have to get off this.
Right.
I wanted to someday do like a big media cleanse, like get out of it altogether.
I'm really kind of doing it now, and I don't know that
it's hard when you're in the space though. Like your daily thing is the internet, and you're like.
But I really try to just limit myself to go on and post, and then I'll go on and check like on, like my friends. So like Beto from Half Face, I'll go and see what he's doing. And I always try to support them. I always try to, the fight gyms, the fighters that we have on, basically like the guests that we have on, I'll go on and just kind of see what they're going, give them some support. But I always get sucked down a rabbit hole, like the Francis Ngannou thing the other day.
Yeah, when I was telling you about that.
And then I ended up reading then I ended up on Twitter, going to look at it. And it like, the post that he made there was borderline like a suicidal letter, man. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what did you figure out what happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but
it was his daughter that passed, or one of his children.
Dude, and we just had Yuri in and his whole story with his son, and going through cancer, and
yeah,
it's
after editing all these podcasts, we have some heavy guests, like the gentleman who, oh man, I forgot his name. It was a little bit ago where he. Did the bike ride across to the video game toy place that he almost killed himself in his room, and his his beagle saved him. Yeah, man, that was a good one.
You know what's crazy about that too, and those are some of my favorites, because those are people that don't have any sort of platform. Like, he's not on social media. He's just a friend of a friend. We got to know each other, and I was like, would you be interested? They actually reached out to me like, hey, I'd like to get Jay on.
Because it was Colorado Craft Beef.
Right.
Yeah. That pod kind of inspired me, because like you said, I wear lots of hats and lived many lives. And I was like trying to think, like, what do I love? What do I do? Like, editing's fine. I can talk about getting into editing, because I don't think I told you the story about how I became an editor.
This is the main reason why I wanted to have you on, because we get to hang out at some awesome events. We've hung out at breakfast, which is awesome. That's kind of like doing a together. Podcast. Yeah. But there's always it's like work talk, right? And I want to know about Matt, and I know quite a bit about you, but it feels like when somebody gets locked into that hot seat over there,
yeah,
it's just so much better. Man.
I'm usually in the shadows. But yeah, that when he was talking about his buddy, and he's like, I just want to make video games. I've realized like my whole life, since getting like a Sega when I was a kid, everything I've done has been, I got to go to school so I can get home to play video games. I got to finish these edits so I can chill and play video games. And I've always really been interested in that world. So I've been doing research like the last month or so, and I ended up downloading Unity, which is a software, and getting an online class. And I'm trying to figure out how to carve time out, but I'm trying to get into creating video games now, because it's editing, music, and my movie background all into like one hub.
Yeah.
So I think that would be kind of fun.
Well, I'm sure that there's different facets to it, right? Like, because they make like game trailers and game like...
Yeah,
I've always been disappointed. This has been my biggest letdown with video games ever. Is like, so say whatever the big video game company is, they put out a preview or a commercial for the game, and you're like, oh, sick, look at these graphics. And then you play it, and you're like,
it's nothing like it.
Fuck, dude, this is like... Yeah.
They use like Unity, they were like Unreal Engine samples, but don't really put their gameplay footage. But when I make mine, I'll make my trailer with actual gameplay.
Okay.
But it's not, it's going to be like 2D jumping around.
Well, it's come so far now. Like, my kid has whatever we got him for Christmas, Xbox S. It's like the fucking tower.
I got
one.
that. Yeah.
It's badass, dude. We even got the fan that goes on top with the different LED lights that you can change the colors and like.
That's sick. Yeah. When I first got
We played
money,
the fuck out of Madden, dude.
I went to Best Buy and I was like, what's the best TV for this Xbox? And I was like, well, we're opening up a credit card today. And then I paid that off and it was like a big celebration. I was like, I paid off the big TV.
So do they sell TVs that are specific, like gaming TVs?
Well, like nice refresh rate.
Okay.
That you can plug like the best one for the Xbox is like this oiled OLED. I think it's called OLED screen. But yeah, I wanted like the nicest TV for my Xbox. And then at my house, the couch is so far away that I just have to like move a chair, like a dining chair in front of it.
Well, there's so much built. That's such a huge industry now, man. There's so much built around gaming, like you got headsets, you got chairs with speakers, you got fucking.
Oh, it's awesome.
You can buy a full-on fucking race car simulator, right? Like,
yeah, everything.
For some of these games,
like those Oculuses are fun too. But I just want to make games that are like kind of like a movie, but in a video game world. I played this one. It's called Disco Elysium recently, and I know the video games. This is where we're in turtle on.
You're gonna have to explain a lot.
These guys are like, no, I don't want to watch.
If it's not Madden or like,
yeah, this one's like a
Super Mario Brothers
1950s communist noir album, like or like book where you're like this detective who's an alcoholic trying to solve this mystery. There's no combat. You're just like talking your way through this, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Can we pull up like? Is there a trailer to it? Or
Disco
something?
Elysium. There might be. It's a Disco Elysium.
Is that ELY?
Yeah, that one.
There it is.
But it was like it's like this crazy isometric RPG, which means like it's a top-down view. But I'm not sure. I've never seen a trailer. I just saw that it was like
Goddamn
on sale.
commercials,
Dude,
man.
the only thing I pay for is YouTube Premium. But you're like in this. There's this guy that got hung, and you're like you wake up after a blackout and you don't know who you are, and you're this cop, and you have to like put on your clothes, and you're like all hammered, and you can like do drugs the whole time, and no one like gets mad at you. But it's pretty interesting, and that kind of was like, oh shit, this is like a story. It's like an old novel, but in a game. These are like Polish guys that wrote this game, I'm pretty sure. Or Estonia.
So is it like a mercenary type?
You don't fight at
situation?
all. You're just talking to people. It's all dialogue options.
Really?
Yeah, and you're like, you can choose to be like a supreme fascist or a communist dude or an anarchist, or just in the game I helped these kids that want to set up a meth lab start a nightclub in a church. It was like,
dude, I would have a biker gang for 150%, dude.
But those worlds you can create, like with music. I was in a band growing up, and I was like, oh, cool. I learned about Ableton. I was like, oh, I don't have to invite my band over. I can just make all the music I want on my computer. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, okay, with movies, my biggest thing with making like video content was like, oh, how can I get all these people here who have these big ideas? And I was like, oh, you can just program into a game and have someone play that,
man. Like if you know what you're doing graphics wise, Tyler, pull up Matt Lingo or not Matt Lingo on Instagram.
Is he like
he's a photographer that I've worked with, and he's been a guest on the podcast, and I can't wait to get him back. This dude is so fucking creative, and the best photographer that I have ever seen for my type of style of stuff that I like to see. But he shoots a lot of tactical photography. But this is all
is it
Photoshop? Like this is like all
in Blender.
I'm not sure,
which is like a 3D rendering.
Man, but he shoots for some of the baddest ass companies. So pull up that one right there of him on the Dylan defense gun. Yeah, watch this. Oh, is this not the... So he gets to do cool shit like this. He shot a bunch of the stuff for Half Face, but is just an incredible artist too at the same time. Give us some volume, dude. Listen to this thing. So badass.
Sounds like a fart.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine that's coming, like insurgents are like, oh no, the fart gun's coming, dude.
It's crazy. So he's kind of cut his teeth in the tactical space, and he shoots for all the baddest ass companies that provide shit for the SEALs. But like that dude grinding a skateboard on, that's a fuel
military
reception.
assets. I wonder if he's using like Blender.
I don't know if he uses Photoshop or like 3D imaging.
Because Blender is like a 3D Photoshop.
If he,
I think it's Blender.
when he comes back to Colorado and sits down with us, or if we go to San Diego, I would love to have you and him talk.
Yeah, this
Matt,
looks like a lot of
because
Blender and
We
like,
get the
Yeah.
two Matts in a room and we'll really fucking nerd
Oh,
out, dude.
dude.
Let's go.
these are pretty cool though.
Badass. And he's crazy. He'll take like a raccoon and put like nods and a tactical helmet on him and a fucking vest and shit.
I like
so
the
I'll have like Navy
skateboarding.
SEALs running in with like, a raccoon is one of the operators.
Dude, I always wanted to be a skateboarder, but I just like playing Tony Hawk. Like that was it.
One of my favorite games
Dude,
of all
it's
time.
amazing.
Dude.
I remember
PlayStation.
getting.
How come they don't make it anymore?
It's a problem with so Activision and Neversoft that was making it. They started making Guitar Heroes, and then another company kind of got the rights to the Tony Hawk, and they just dropped the ball on it. There's like rush production, like when a movie comes out and it's bad.
Look at that, dude.
That's so sick.
It's badass, dude.
But yeah, they. I think I remember reading something about it, or like listening to a podcast about Tony Hawk games. But that's what happens. They sold They have another production company contracted to do it, and they just did a terrible job on the last one. I think it was Tony Hawk
sucks, man,
5.
because like I bought my kid his allowance is Game Pass. So like he's got to take out the trash. He's got to do all the shit that I asked him to do so I can pay for his Game Pass, right? And I was like, dude, download like Tony Hawk, and like I'm telling him all these old games that I played, because I stopped playing video games like probably around PlayStation 2, I guess. I don't know. Was Tony Hawk PlayStation 1 or 2?
It was PS1, but I remember getting it on like the N64.
Okay.
1 and 2, and then I got the PS2, and that's when like Tony Hawk's Underground came out.
Right.
And those are like really cool ones. They're like a story
Okay,
mode.
it must have been PS2 then, yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Those were dope. But yeah, I was trying to like download, like tell him all those like sort of games, and he just wasn't. You can't find him. There's some
No.
like bullshit versions of it.
Have you seen Skate? That one's the one. It's on Game Pass. That one's awesome. Skate
it?
3.
Okay.
It's like you play with the analog stick as your like way to ollie and do tricks. That
I need
one's
you to come
dude.
up here for the afternoon. We'll bring the Xbox in, and we'll get Tyler in here, and
Just
you and
download
Tyler
all the good
record and
ones.
just fucking go. Let's go. Let's start a Twitch account.
Dude, I
or
just
something.
love playing games. So that's when I realized like, oh, what if I just like invested my time into learning how to do these?
It's crazy because my kid understands football so much better from playing Madden. Like he knows how to read defenses now. Like
It's a training
I swear
tool.
to God that's why the whole reason why he physically wants to play football.
Is playing Madden all the
Playing
time.
Madden, watching the NFL guys. I mean, that was what got him into football originally, because he's such a smart kid. And he picked up chess really well and is playing like at a pretty high level in chess, where he knows like shit that I don't even know. I can't even
Like
play
Bobby
him now.
Fischer level.
Not quite that level, but I mean, he's playing adults. When he goes to these tournaments, he's not playing even kids in his same, some kids in his same grade, but they do it by a chess rating. So you get a rating,
It's called
right?
like ELO or something like that.
I don't fucking know, dude. I just show up and I'm like the dad with tattoos.
You're like the
and,
hockey dad that beats up the other dad.
Totally,
Like, oh
dude.
man, he checkmated my son.
None of the parents fucking talk to me, dude. They're like scared to death. There's one dude that talks to me that's super cool, but all the parents like are super hard on their kids. There's a ton of Indian descent people there because chess is really big in their culture.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So it's like, we don't get a whole lot of diversity up here. So it's cool that he's getting.
There should be
some
like
of
a
that.
TLC show about it. Like how there's like dance
Chess-
moms. There should be chess dads.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, and these kids are like, me and Tyler go outside because I told him, I was like, you can play chess, I'll take you to these tournaments, but we're not sitting in this room all day with these parents. Like, let's go outside in between your rounds, try to fucking get done quick because they have an hour to complete their games. They play like 5 games, and then it goes towards their like national chess rating, and then they get invited to other tournaments. Like he played in the U.S. Open of chess in Vegas. He's done a couple state tournaments here. Yeah, so like I think to be a grandmaster, you have to be. Tyler, you're gonna have to look this up. To be a grandmaster, I think it's like 2,000.
Dude,
is your score.
What if he gets grandmaster?
He's
and
like
starts getting
1,300 or something.
talks back like, Dad, you can't talk to the grandmaster like that.
Oh, dude, he won't even play me in chess. I'm like, teach me.
You're like, no,
teach me. I pay for all your chess lessons. Yeah. So one of the things with Game Pass was like, you have to teach me how to play chess, and I'm hoping that will make him a better chess player.
Yeah,
but. And to bring it back to Madden, okay, so 2,500. So he's 1,000 points off of that, but
that's easy.
I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy.
The grandmaster. You can put that on your resume.
I think if you're at that point, like you can make a living just teaching chess.
Just sitting in the park playing old people.
No, like
for
teaching
money.
people online. There's all these like chess forums and chess. I mean, he takes classes from I don't know if it's a grandmaster or a master.
Yeah, kids have it so easy with YouTube to learn stuff. Like, I mean, that's so sick. Like, even when I'm driving around during my day job, I listen to like podcasts on game development, and I'm not necessarily looking at the computer trying to understand what they're talking about code, but I have this theory of like, if I hear this all and I get it like locked in, like this is what they're doing, when I actually sit down and watch the videos on like coding and stuff like that, I'm like, so I know what they're talking about.
It's so huge, man. Like it's how I fix my vehicles now. Like if I need to figure out like, fuck, man, these new like space age vehicles, if I got to change a headlight in my wife's car, the first thing I'm doing is going to YouTube and going like, how do you change the light bulb in a fucking Ford Explorer, a headlight in a Ford
every
Explorer?
time.
And boom, there's 30 or 40 videos that pop up. And it's really well done, like information. Like normally the ones that are at the top with the most views or the best ratings are put together so well.
I think some of those people are making money off their...
You cannot fucking fail, dude. You really can't. If you are, you're a dumbass, dude. Like, I'm sorry.
Do you remember getting the encyclopedias as a kid?
Oh, shit, yeah.
And that's just how you had to look up stuff back in the day, is like that 10-volume encyclopedia. My parents bought one from like a traveling salesman one time.
There was guys that made a full-on living that just got crushed when Google.
A year later, the internet came out, and those books just collected dust on the shelf. I'm like, I don't need to learn about sea animals on this book. I have the internet now.
Yeah. The crazy thing about that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but like, I think if you put something in print and it's false information, you can fucking literally like go to jail. But if it's online,
yeah, you could do it.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Like a publisher.
We'd probably be in prison for the podcast right now.
Oh yeah, my whole explanation of Tony Hawk is like that didn't happen.
Yeah,
there is a documentary on Amazon, I think, about the original Tony Hawk games.
There should be.
There is one.
Dude, that was so badass.
There's a new one that came out a little bit ago, and I keep seeing clips of it.
Yeah,
but there's one about it.
So bring it back to gaming here for a minute.
And then I could also, like, with the internet thing, that's how I learned to edit. Because when I went to film school, I went for writing and directing. And I had this buddy, Scotty, who would, like, he was my, like, partner and everything. And I was like, he was the editor. He edited everything. I never liked editing. And then when I moved to LA, the only jobs available.
I hate editing. That's why I hired you, dude.
The only jobs available were editing. And this guy was like, hey, do you know Final Cut? And I had my degree and I knew like basics of Premiere. Like when I was in high school, I got shipped off to like the local community college for editing classes. So I knew Premiere and Photoshop like pretty early on before anyone else could, but because computers were at the college. And then when I learned Premiere in college and stuff, I wasn't like the best at it. I didn't like to do it. And this guy offered me a job for editing, and I just had read that book, Obstacle is the Way, by Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
And it was like
Obstacles in the Way.
The Obstacles the Way, yeah.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Ryan Holiday.
Yeah, so
his books are badass. Dude, there's so many of them.
The Ego one's good too.
I haven't dove into that one. But
And he's got one that's like it's a Confessions of a Growth Hacker. It was about growth hack marketing and how he would like do marketing stuff. But he was the guy that wrote he worked for the guy that wrote Mastery. He was his like researcher.
Is it Robert Greene?
Robert Greene. He was Robert Greene's researcher. But this guy offered me a job if I knew Final Cut. And I was like, yeah, I know Final Cut. I did not know Final Cut. But I did. I thought I did because Final Cut used to be Premiere. Like they had the same interface back in the day. Then Final Cut upgraded to Final Cut 10, which is like a knockoff or a buildup of iMovie almost. So I didn't know Final Cut 10, but this guy's like, I didn't Final Cut 10. Do you want to work for me? And I was like, I know it. I did not know it, and I went home and watched a bunch of YouTube videos and learned
Dude, it is an amazing fucking product. Just the shit that you've taught me has changed my life. So like some of the clips and reels, like I'm having fun with it, dude. Like I fucking hate editing.
Yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy.
But when somebody like you that's a master at it shows me, I feel like, damn, dude, I can take on the world now.
And I feel like I talk too fast in it too. And I'm like, when I was showing you how to do it, like, oh, you just drag this here. And I'm like thinking everyone's got this.
But it is really that simple, man. Like I urge anybody that has any sort of creative gump or is trying to be an influencer or anything, Final Cut is so easy to use. Take the time. There's a ton of tutorials, you know.
It's one payment of like $2.99.
You should just fucking start a YouTube channel with
about editing
Final Cut tutorials. You would crush.
Yeah, that would be fun. Just like how to show
a nice
how to
little
do it.
part-time thing.
But I don't like my style is kind of like punk rocky, where I'm like, oh, just I don't know what I'm doing, but I make everything look good.
That's exactly why I contacted you too, because I wanted when we moved away from that other company. Like they weren't getting creatively like what I wanted to put down with my music background and where I came from and my punk rock background and metal and that sort of like vibey type. I just wanted it to be different than everybody else's shit. And everybody keeps hitting me up and they're like, dude, what AI program are you using? I'm like, I'm not. I'm using humans.
I got a ghost, dude.
Yeah, I got a Matty ghost. Shout out to Chris Camozzi too for connecting up.
He plugged me in a while ago.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, Camozzi's the man.
Super badass. Love that dude. But yeah, going back to it, man, like Final Cut, if you have any sort of creative like knack or burn or some sort of creative bug, that is a great program to produce audio, video, photos. Like if you just want to make a slideshow with badass music,
oh yeah,
it's super simple.
Just drag the pictures
There's
in.
a ton of transitions and all kinds of. I mean, you can geek out in that fucking thing.
And like, there's a lot of even the websites now, like the Motion Array or Artlist. You can download templates of like cool intros and just drag stuff in, change the once you learn like the back end of like kind of the motion graphics part of it, you can change all the things inside just off of a template.
Hell yeah.
Templates are the way to go. That's how I learned music too, is I found like a bunch of templates of songs because people were like, I was looking up videos of how to do it, but once you get like a project in the...
Do you use Logic or what?
I use Ableton.
Ableton. Okay.
I think Ableton 12's out now. I haven't upgraded.
I know nothing about this, dude.
But
it's crazy. My whole career, every bit of money, this studio has been built on the music industry, and I don't fucking know anything
You're like,
about
I just know the lights.
I know live production.
Yeah.
So like if you want to put 40 trucks into an arena in one day and take it out in the same day, I'm your fucking guy. But
I'd do that.
If you ask me how to run the mixer, I'm like, where's the fucking hammer, dude? Like
I walk around with a little flash drive and plug in and go and be like, okay, we're playing. Because I used to be a drummer, and I bought all my cars growing up, or like found cars. I'm like, can you fit a drum set in this? And like that's how I thought of everything. And now I'm like, oh, I got a little man purse with a flash drive in it, and that's all I have to carry around to put on our show now.
It's crazy because I've worked on some of the EDC shows, like in Vegas and stuff, and I fucking despise it from the production standpoint because it's just outdoors. It's just a fucking it's a shitty festival to work at, right?
Yeah.
Because you're there for weeks and the stages are ginormous. And it's like, to be honest with you, it's not the most talented people in the music industry. The most talented people in the music industry from a live production standpoint are working for Metallica. They're working for your big, like the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses. Like,
If you have beer, they're all smart, but once you get those other drugs involved, everyone kind of falls down this
I'm not saying
hill.
there's not other drugs involved, but
No, but like EDM shows are kind of like it's all
wild though.
It's all visuals. Have you seen
it's crazy though. I've never built a stage that had waterfalls and owls the size of fucking,
oh yeah, the
a
owl's a big thing.
skyscraper and fucking, it's unbelievable.
There's this one guy to show. I always remember this. He's like, this is how they contact the aliens, and they. This is how they. I was like, this guy's on something, but he's got a point. He's like, this is how we show them. Like we're siphoning all our energy up.
Hold
to
on
them.
1 second, dude. I'm gonna save your life. I think these new microphones.
This is where I'll put the YouTube commercial.
If you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell.
You guys like that YouTube commercial?
Edit. I'm always calling you out. Like, yeah, I hope you leave these in sometimes because I don't always go back and watch the podcast like fully just because we're doing a guest a week. This week we're recording fucking 3 people, dude. It's wild.
We got the
Maybe
backlog.
even 4, yeah. Which I hate fucking doing. What do you think about that?
I love the backlog.
Well, I know you do from an editing standpoint, but like my thing is when I have people in here, I want it to be relevant. So I love the fact that how fast you turn shit around is unbelievable and how much of it, right? And I'm also helping tackle a tiny, minuscule bit of that, with like some of the content. But it's cool because we are putting shit on YouTube every day now. Every day there's a video that drops. There's one that dropped today, like between the highlights and the Mountainside Honors. And we're just doing it the way that I wanted to do it. And you are crushing my creative expectations. So thank you, brother.
Of course. Thank you.
So we've been all over the place. I we haven't even started on what I want to get into with you. But real quick, before we start, going back to video games and this new venture that you're taking on, there's something that I do, and I think it's really good for anybody and everybody, and I encourage them to do it if you can do this as you're going to bed. I listen to audiobooks, whether they're fiction, no matter what you're into, just set a 30-minute timer, and it's almost like a meditation before you go to sleep. Like I try to forget fucking everything in the day. I try to forget just everything and just focus on the book, right? And it's funny because I fall asleep 9 times out of 10 before that 30 minutes is up. And then I have to go back and I'm like, wait, did I listen to this or did I not? But the best way to take in a video book and what your mind does visually when your eyes are closed, and not any drugs or anything, because I don't.
But
smoke
like your
weed
REM
anymore.
cycle type of thing.
I don't know, man. It's just good cognitively.
I used to sleep with when I had spelling tests. I would put the spelling test underneath my pillow at night because I thought that it would
like soak into your brain.
My dad would be like, put it under your pillow. Just to think maybe I'd look at it at night, but I never would.
Awesome. But I want you to pick up, or if you have Audible, have you read any of the Jack Carr or listened to any of the Jack Carr books?
No. What's that?
Dude, they are fucking badass. It is Jack Reacher meets fucking. Have you seen the series The Terminal List on Prime?
I'm familiar with it. I haven't watched it.
So it's Jack Carr. So he's an author. There's probably like 5 books out. Start from the beginning. It's about a Navy SEAL because Jack was a former Navy SEAL, the author. And it's kind of a redemption type story. It's fucking awesome. And he grew up in the 80s, like, so that Rambo, Schwarzenegger era.
Nice.
But he was also an actual operator, and like his attention to detail when it comes to like describing just anything and everything is so badass, dude.
Nice.
It's like, and every year that he puts out a new book, I'm such a fan of his that like I went back to the second book and I'm going to listen to them all the way through until they come out in June. Like, cause they're just so badass. And it's cool because maybe I have a bit more of a personal connection because some of the people that he fictionally writes about are people that I know in real life that he kind of bases some of his characters on and stuff like Beto from Half Face. And so it's super cool, man.
Nice.
Badass book.
I try to watch that stuff at night. I have a projector in my room. My girlfriend hates bloody stuff, so we usually just watch like the Minions or something.
Don't even watch it. Just listen. Jack, this is no disrespect. You're probably not listening to this, but the books blow. And I know that everybody fucking says this. This is the cliche thing. It blows the actual like terminal list out of the water. Like I can't wait till they get into some of these next books, like In the Blood or The Devil's Hand. Savage Son is my favorite.
You get so much more in the books too,
dude. And then to lay there visually and like he's so intricate at how he writes and what he describes. The only thing that trips me out a little bit about it is the guy that narrates it, Ray Porter. He does the female voices too.
Does
so it's
like,
a bit of like
salty.
Yeah, it's a little bit like
what are you doing, Jack? Yeah. That's my gun.
But he's really good too, man. Unbelievable. He does like Russian fucking accents and like, and this thing takes place around the world and real life shit. And it's crazy. Like I was reading about the pandemic in his book before the pandemic actually happened.
Oh, nice.
Like he's very like the
in
books.
Tune.
Yeah. They tune in with like current events and then you'll be listening to a part of the story and you're like, is this something that actually happened when he starts talking about like 9/11 or is this fiction? Like you don't know what's real and what's not.
Damn.
It's dope.
Audiobook editing is another. My roommate does that. He hates it.
Could you imagine sitting there reading an audiobook? We've recorded a couple in the studio.
Yeah. It sounds terrible. He like does it and he's like, I'm doing an audio cooking book for the blind. I'm like is the blind
sorry,
cooking?
I don't mean to laugh,
no, I was like so blown away. I was like, how is that a thing?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to watch that. I want to watch a blind person cook.
Right? That'd be a good show.
Dude, one of my favorite clips to watch are the Down syndrome guys cooking.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, man. I love those guys.
Yeah. Then
They're hilarious.
I've been watching a lot of MasterChef Junior.
Okay.
And I like it up until they kick a kid off. And then the kid cries. I'm like, I fucking hate this part, dude. Why do you have to kick this kid off? This kid he killed it. He cooked better than I could ever cook. And now you got to let him go.
Yeah.
That's what we've been watching during dinner. And I'm like, I like it until the end. And I usually stop it. And I pick up where the next episode and I cut off the
so
part
you know
where I don't want to watch the kid get kicked off. Right. I hate it every time.
I get it, dude.
That's the only like a reality show part I don't like.
It's crazy. I don't really watch TV, I guess, all that much, unless my kids are. We've been watching a lot of sports lately with the Nuggets and.
Oh yeah, let's go Nuggets.
Yeah, let's go Nuggets.
That was a nail biter.
And the Avalanche are playing tonight,
They're
right?
on right now.
What's the score?
That's Pete.
Oh yes, let's check this out.
Let's go.
Because DU won.
We could actually throw it up on
championship.
that TV in there.
Just like be a little distracted the whole time. Oh shit,
dude, it's badass. So me and my kid come in here, even when we're not podcasting. And we'll put the UFC on here and football on that TV. And he's like, dude, this is the fucking man.
Overstimulation, dude.
It's a sports bar for a kid. Really,
yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not feeding him booze or
you
whatever.
You got Topo Chicos in the fridge.
We got a bar next door. I'm ordering him chicken wings and shit, dude. It's the shit, dude.
We could throw it on if you want.
It's up to you.
We can kind of just monitor it. Or is that on
should automatically.
Hulu now? There
it's kind of a package deal. Like you get Hulu, ESPN Plus, and
I'll tell you the only thing
Disney
I pay
Plus.
for is
fuck Disney, dude.
YouTube
Disney's
Premium.
pissing me off.
You don't like Little Mermaids?
It's not that, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just not a fan of like the woke like culture and some of their new cartoons that like my kids want to watch.
Yeah,
are based on that.
I just don't like movies that are like I'm invested in the story and they break out in a song. I'm so pissed, dude.
It's like every Disney movie, dude.
I know. Every time I watch a movie,
yeah, click that one. Yeah, hit continue.
Let's just say
I start a movie and they start singing. I'm like, fuck this, dude.
Yeah,
I hate when they start singing in movies.
So bad.
It's like,
dude, wait till you have kids, man.
Oh man,
you're gonna watch some shit you don't want to watch, bro.
I already do with a girlfriend that doesn't
Yeah.
like bloody TV shows. I have to watch all the same.
I made my kids watch Roadhouse the other night.
That was kind of a tough one.
Kids, yeah.
The new Roadhouse was a little weird. I kind of liked it, but
it was good for kids. I wouldn't
Yeah.
let them watch the old one where the chick was like getting plowed in the fucking keg room
I like
or whatever.
McGregor in it. He was funny.
Yeah, he was all right, man.
Which one of these?
Did you see that he just bought BKFC? Go to Xfinity.
He did.
Yeah. So my goal in life is to get this big enough to where I can hire you another editor. And then you're going to teach me how to play Red Dawn Redemption.
Red Dead.
Red Dead? Yeah, I don't fucking
Red Dead
know.
Redemption?
It just looks cool, man.
It is fun.
And Call of Duty. I've never played Call of Duty.
Call of
Not
Duty's
one time.
good.
Is it?
I'm not very good at the shooters. I'm really good at Fortnite. Surprisingly, I don't know why, but I clean up on
That's
that
a fucking popular game now. Right?
Yeah, I can play some Fortnite, but lately I've been getting into like really independent video games, like small developer ones, and that's like where I think it's super fun to play like a game that that wouldn't come out like years ago.
So is that like the Sundance Film Festival of fucking
Kinda,
video
it's
games?
just like
or,
small studios
punk
that-
rock like type.
yeah, able to put out those kind of games.
So badass, dude.
Yeah, my parents never bought me video games because they knew I was like addicted to them. So my first job ever was GameStop.
Really?
Yeah, like 16 years old, I worked at GameStop just so I can get the.
Dude, GameStop sucks now.
It does.
You go in there, they're like, we don't have anything. You want the new Madden?
It's like that's
Disc?
all they have.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you can check out video games at work, and then I figured out how to rip the games onto like a little hard drive. So I just like get free video games constantly.
Really?
It was
How
a
do you
good-
do that now? Is it even possible?
No, I mean you can emulate it, and I kind of like to support the independent developers. So I don't
Yeah.
really, and it's so hard to rip games now.
That's how I am on most stuff too. Like, I don't know. There's so much that you can just fucking rip off nowadays.
I'll just find it on
Seems
YouTube or
fucking
something.
dead. All right, we'll get this fired up here in a minute. But yeah, dude, there's gaming is not good for me. I have an addictive personality, and fucking, I just don't think that I would. There's no way I could do what I'm doing now. Like, there's no way I could be a good dad. There's no way that I could fucking create
Yeah,
the content for all the podcasts that we're doing now and keep up with the business side of it. Like,
I
there's
don't know what
fucking no way.
if I game a lot, it's like a mental trigger. Like, oh, I'm depressed because I'm just trying to escape constantly.
This learning lesson that I've gotten from you has been insane, dude. It's so badass. I'm so happy to have you here, Matt.
Yeah,
and
cheers.
I'm stoked to have you sitting here. Let's really get into it now, though.
Okay,
No bullshit. All bullshit aside.
I'm gonna have to throw
You ready? You
Zen
loose
for
now?
this.
You ready? Yeah, fucking get it. What is that?
This
Is that like a creator's can or something?
no, this is just some stickers on one that I just keep refilling because I like
Okay.
it. It's
That's cool.
This is my boss from. I'm a delivery driver for Bonnie Bray Liquor, and honestly,
Tip Matty big if he shows up at your house. Matty
shout
does.
out to my man Bruce, the owner of Bonnie Bray Liquor. I've had a lot of jobs in my life, and even though I am overqualified completely for this job, it's up the block for me, so I got it real quickly, and I can deliver alcohol for minimum wage. But the owner of this store, Bonnie Bray Liquor, his name's Bruce. Best boss I've ever had in my entire life. Like, he's the coolest dude, so nice.
What about me, bro?
But you're not my boss, you're my partner.
Yeah, we are. We're
As a-
partners.
as like
That's
a-
true.
as a
That's true.
boss-
I'm sorry, man. What a dick.
No,
man.
dude, no worries. But as like a boss of a company, this guy knows what he's doing. So nice, really great
They
employees.
have a badass business too. They
Yeah.
got a fucking ice cream shop next to a liquor store, bro.
Yeah, and we deliver their ice cream too.
Let's go.
It's not. I delivered some ice cream today, and it's been it's interesting. Sometimes I work the morning shift and I get the shaky people, and then sometimes I do the night shift. I've delivered to someone only. I'm not sure if this is even podcast material, but like one time.
Well, you're editing this, so like,
I've pulled the plug on some people delivering though. I'm like, I show up to their house,
Really?
and I'm like, this guy who's like looks like he has
About to
barf on
die.
himself ordered Everclear. I'm like, I'm not delivering to you. Wow. And I like he like turned around and I like just ran off. My heart was racing. I'm like, I don't like conflict. I'm gonna get out of here, so I don't have to tell him I'm not going.
drunks are the worst with conflict too. dude.
Yeah. So I just try to avoid it. Luckily, I don't knock on wood, I've had a great time. It's so chill. I just drive around and listen to podcasts and music and deliver booze to people. But the environment's really great. Like everyone there is cool. So if you have to order alcohol, BonnieBrayLiquor.com.
Hell yeah, let's go. That's where we buy all the booze for the podcast too.
Shameless plug.
Yep. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Just a genuine shout out.
If you shop there too much, you might need a sponsor. In a roundabout way.
All right. So we're really going to dive into this now.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want the life story of Matty Ghost, man. Like what?
Ooh.
How did you grow up? And you grew up in Colorado, right?
Grew up in Grand Junction.
Really?
Yeah.
Western Slope
I'm
kid.
a Western Sloper.
Let's go, dude. I like the Western Slope
Grand
kids.
Junction is. I was thinking about.
They know what the fuck is up, dude. They know how to party.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I was thinking about driving up. I'm like, Evergreen's a little bit like Junction. I remember in high school.
Junction's bigger though.
It is a little bit bigger.
But we have the city like right there.
And we just have. It's just Junction. It's a bubble. Growing up before the internet,
you're not going to go to Utah to get beer.
I used to say Grand Junction's a year behind Denver and like what's cool and stuff, but like 5 years behind LA and what's cool. Even when I lived in LA, I'd come to visit and everyone's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from here.
Do you
dude.
still feel like, I don't mean to interrupt you and we're going to dive into this.
I'll talk
do you
shit about
still
Junction all day, dude.
Well, there was a moment there where it was like, when I moved to LA, one of the reasons why I moved to LA was to pursue my career in music. And I did it in like 99. So it was a big deal. I mean, you were listening to music and you were getting CDs out there that you were not getting on, like, that you could get in Denver.
Oh, yeah. Everything was behind. When I went to LA, I realized
even the radio played. Like,
everything.
LA was the test market, right? Like, if it did well in LA, if Pennywise is doing good in LA, it's going to do well.
It'll
on
finally
93.3.
transfer out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always like Denver's Junction's in a bubble. It's like literally a little valley bubble. And it's finally like starting to pick up. Now the internet's around so we can get cooler stuff. But I remember growing up.
Well, that's
like,
what I was getting at is like you have instant access to everything now, whether you live in fucking everywhere, but probably like North Korea and some of China, right?
Yeah.
Like anybody can access anything. People listen to this podcast that are in, I see the demographics. They're in fucking Australia. We have a fan base in Italy, which is dope because I'm 60% Italian. There are all these like fly fishermen that like listen to the podcast and they've invited me out to like, hey, come out. We'll take you fly fishing. Like, so
That's
shout out
sick.
to those dudes, man.
On a gondola?
Dude, and the fish there are fucking badass too. So
Yeah, my cousin, I'm not sure if he's sponsored by Orvis. And he was,
really?
He went out to Australia for a thing and was catching the weirdest looking fish I've ever seen. But he lives up in Gunnison and does like rafting fishing tours down there.
Is he a guide?
He's a guide up there.
Dude, we should have him on the podcast.
I know. We gotta go. I gotta go up again too.
Fuck yeah. Let's go up there and go fishing.
Yeah,
and
he
then we'll
took
have
me
him
on a thing. He's like, just cast over there.
That's your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin Dylan. Shout out Dylan.
Let's go. We need to get Matty out of the basement.
I know. Growing up, we had these cousins from Texas. And they come to Grand Junction. They were from Austin, and they're like three boys. And it's me and my little sister. And we're like, we're playing Mario in the basement. And they're like, we're climbing rocks and shooting stuff. And they'd come in like, we'd see, they'd always be better at us than everything. We're like, oh, we started rock climbing. They're like, we've been doing this for years. Like,
right.
And then finally they came down. They're like, oh, we're starting to play music and play drums. I'm like, finally, something I'm better than you guys at.
Fuck you up now.
So, but now they're all like, one's like a paraglider that goes to Utah and just paraglides everywhere. Like,
wow,
they're all extreme
motherfuckers.
One's a CPA in Denver. I never hung out with
extreme.
him, no, or something like that. But it was
probably want to hang out with you.
Yeah, he's cool. Everyone on that, but they always pushed us to be like, okay, what's cool now? But because they were coming in to Junction from like out of state, knowing all the cool stuff already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like from where?
Austin,
Texas.
Yeah, so they were from there, and they would come in.
Damn, dude, your family's lived in some dope places. Austin's a fucking cool spot to grow up. Like,
yeah.
Or I think it was back then. Like that whole...
I've only been there once, and it was like the early 90s.
The early 90s
We
was
went
good.
to SeaWorld and
I went last year at the end of the year, so not that long ago. Like,
yeah, you went
4
to
or
the
5 months
comedy
ago.
club too, huh?
Yeah, it was badass, man. Like Rogan's Comedy Club is the fucking shit, dude. It is The staff is what makes it good, though. Like, it's cool with all the bells and whistles and all the money that they've dumped into it. Like, and me being a live production guy, like, I understand that. Like, I understand that side of the business. It's cool, man. It's cool on all levels. But the staff, I don't know what they preached to them or what they did. Dude, they
selected the right people.
I don't know. Like, I'm no celebrity. Like, I was just an everyday person coming in there. I didn't throw out the mountainside like fucking, I have a podcast, because
they're like, Rogies runs this place, dude.
And
you
it was
a podcast.
I went to the open mic and they were like, hey, all you motherfuckers in the front row wearing On It shirts, like, we know why you're here.
Yeah. Rogan's not coming out.
And On It's one of our sponsors here at the podcast.
Yeah.
So no disrespect, but like, they were all waiting for Rogan. You know what I mean? So there is that sort of like stigma of the bro sort of like stigma. But I've always integrated with the staff, no matter where I go. I want to go walk into the kitchen and meet the chef. I want to fucking talk to the door guys for a minute. Like, I treat them like a person, right? No matter whether it's a cop, a firefighter. I mean, even in these huge arena shows, and the level that I've worked at is like, those are the people that will save your life.
Yeah.
Those are the people I want to talk to. Like, some of the Super Bowls that I've worked on, like the very first Super Bowl that I did was at the Superdome in New Orleans. And the Black Eyed Peas were coming out of the roof, and they had snipers in the roof.
Just to make sure.
Oh, there's always snipers, like in the fucking light stands, all kinds of shit, dude. Like, it is the biggest. I've been to the White House. I've been on active military bases. I've been on Andrews Air Force Base when dignitaries have flown in and Bush has flown out. And the security at the Super Bowl is the largest security force.
It's like, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, just a sniper at the Super Bowl.
Seriously. I mean, they bring out
talk about a good view.
Everybody and I mean,
he's just watching Mahomes through through the scope. The scope. Oh, that was a good pass.
But that's just it. They're not. They
consult the snipers when they go back, and the referees like, let's check the cams again.
Well, I'm like, hey, listen, if something goes black or something goes dark, like, I want to go meet all those guys. Like, please don't shoot me. There might be a chance that I have to run onto the field and like, do something or help out or like. And you're there for like 3 or 4 weeks. You're there before the teams actually show up. You're there before the playoffs are even decided, like the AFC and NFC
they're
championships.
Just building it, all the
we
rigs
always
and stuff.
watch them. We get the day off so we can watch it. And it's that well rehearsed. You have to build a fucking gigantic stage in 7 minutes, dude. Like, it's unbelievable.
And
so like,
it's true they lip sing everything at the Super Bowl, right? Or they don't play like live instruments. I know like there was that thing about the Chili Peppers not having it in.
Yeah, I mean, how can you?
Yeah.
Right? It's
that's a technical nightmare.
But who doesn't nowadays? I mean, really, 99, even in the 90s,
there's
like the late
tracks.
90s or 2000s, everybody was using Pro Tools that a lot of the bands that not bands, but a lot of the divas and shit that I worked for and like the rap stars.
Like have the backing tracks?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Why not? They sound better.
Well, how do you produce? You go into the studio, you make all this music.
Like, I need this.
How do you do
this
that live?
chime guy for one song?
Or
Don't
it's
bring him
just
out.
vocal track over vocal track over vocal track. So they might actually be singing. They're not lip syncing. Like, I think that's a misconception. They're not lip syncing. They are singing the vocal. But there's so many layers, and music is so, I believe it's overproduced today.
Yeah.
Like, I am a fucking classic rock dude. I fucking love that. But I also love overproduced metal. I love overproduced EDM shit. Like, I love, that sort of music. But, like, how do you perform it live?
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like, Lynyrd Skynyrd, when they played Stairway to Heaven, it was Stairway to Heaven at the fucking show.
Yeah.
So like, how do you do that now?
Those jam bands, they just go forever.
It's computers. You start putting it. We have, if you go and watch a short, it's not like watching the podcast. The podcast, like, edit soup to nuts. There's no like real post production. We don't really edit a whole lot out, do we? Really?
No, not really.
Like kind of like the pre-shit before we start.
Like slap an intro and outro, and then
yeah, like we got a fucking Hollywood clapperboard that we do, and that you never see that in the fucking podcast. But really, it's like start to stop. When we say hello and goodbye, that's it. And I think that that's why podcasts have resonated with people a little bit, is because, and why I've tried to keep this authentic,
like live streams and stuff.
And I really only want authentic followers, dude. Like I'm not looking for whatever, but on the real side of thing, we're doing totally different shit. We're grabbing a photo that might not even pertain to our guest or whatever. I mean, we are, but in that space, people are grabbing photos that aren't even theirs, or content that's not even theirs, or not even subject matter to catch your attention.
Yeah, because I searched whether like it's bear attack and put it up in the front.
Hell yeah.
It's usually from Russia.
Yeah. I mean, but why not? I mean, you got to use that shit to your advantage a little bit.
It's like sampling music. Like when you take
shorts are very like punk rock though, right? Like you can have your own style. You can go and get the cookie cutter fucking AI shit that puts, like the text over it.
It reminds me of those bands that are like, all right, this song's called Death to Brain. And like, that was this song. And it's just a quick
like
jam.
Poison to Motley Crue, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're not fucking Motley Crue. I know you're trying to be, but like you're not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's that kind of era. But I'm sorry, dude. We're fucking totally diving off.
I know. I got bad
We might
ADD.
have to do another fucking podcast with just on Matt.
Bring it back. Okay. Grand Junction.
Yes.
Born in Grand Junction.
Getting extreme with your cousins.
Then high school, that's where I started. I took a speech class, and then they started letting me make movies instead of doing the speeches. And that's where I kind of got into like, oh, I can do this. And then speaking of the clapper.
That is bad. Hold on a second. Your speech teacher said, Matt, stop talking.
Yeah.
Just to edit video.
Or even for like reports and stuff, I would, instead of like doing like the written reports, like book review type of things, they started letting me make like videos. Because I was all
Are
into
you fucking
editing.
kidding
Yeah,
me? As a kid?
Yeah, as a kid.
No wonder you're so good at this.
I was
shit,
editing
dude.
like, oh, this is what King Midas did. Or like I would do reports in videos instead of typing a report.
Were your teachers like hitting you up like, hey, can you make my roller skate highlight reel? Like,
no, but I did get like my last year of high school, I got cool because everyone wanted to be in my little YouTube videos that I was making.
Okay.
So from there,
what year did you graduate?
08.
Okay, so you were a few years ahead of me.
Yeah,
I was a little bit before that.
We
like
had some
YouTube
newer Macs in our school.
Really?
So I was able to like edit stuff for school. Then I realized I was like, okay, this is a job. Not really, but then I went to film school here in Denver, the Colorado Film School, and went there for like 4 years. Learned.
Is that a good school?
It is, yeah.
For film?
It's now something different. It's like Colorado Media School. When I went, it was the last year that you can go to film school, then transfer to Regis University and get like a degree from like a prestigious college, because it's through the Community College of Aurora.
Okay.
The Colorado Film School, or it's called some media school now or something like that.
Which makes sense because everybody's got a podcast, including me.
They like do that. They do like YouTube content. Like they're like teaching that more than when I was there. I was like, you got to be the next Steven Spielberg director type of person.
It's a totally different outlook now, right? Like that's not even. I mean, mainstream media isn't as popular as like a Joe Rogan or some of the top 10 podcasts.
Yeah.
Like they're getting more views than CNN or Fox News or like some of these heavily produced programs.
Now people just want to watch like fun vlogs or like a Mr. Beast style thing, instead of like producing a really sad indie movie that goes live on a circuit.
Man, but fucking, I'm not a fan of the Mr. Beast. Like,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
He crushes, man.
I still watch it just for like reference, but I'm like, it's kind of forced. Like
I just feel like it could be so much better produced, man. Like there's some badass podcasts out there that I don't know. It's just, but also to take it back to that guerrilla tactics, kind of that punk rock thing. There is an element where I've even gone to you and be like, dude, let's not overproduce this too much. Like, let's not get
Yeah.
too crazy with some of the imagery, and like I want to keep it my vibe, right?
Yeah, and like each channel's got a voice. Like even if you go on, like if you're big in YouTube, there's like Channel 5, which is really cool. Then Ryan Trahan, which I think is really cool. These guys have like different voices, but it's all of like their personality is the thing that drives the channel.
Oh, really? I haven't really
Yeah.
thought about that.
So you kind
So
of
it's kind of like a network, like because
Yeah.
some people used to be like, I only watch fucking Fox News, right?
yeah. Now there's like these channels on YouTube that you can
Gotcha.
subscribe to that all have their like individual voice.
I would say Rogan is one of those.
Yeah, definitely. But there's like guys that do vlogs, like this guy Ryan Trahan. He makes really cool. Like I went to every 1-star review, the worst 1-star review hotels, and stays in them, and like but I have to give a 5-star review. So he like goes there and like has like a fun experience. He's like a quirky kid. But
So no matter what hotel, if he's going to a Motel 6, he's gonna have a fucking good time.
he searches all the 1-star review places, goes to them and gives them 5-star reviews.
That's pretty dope.
It's like
dude.
a cool-
That's fucking cool.
But that I was listening to this guy Patrick something. He's like a dude who does consulting on YouTube. But he found out if you find a niche in your like little vlog videos, stick to those. That's why Mr. Beast always does like the survive this. That's why you can stick to your one idea, because people want to go to your channel and see that one thing.
Gotcha.
It's like a
Or
channel.
fuck then.
No, but we got
we
it.
have an archaeologist on
But
to a
it's still
fucking
one channel,
Gotcha. Yeah.
so it works.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's why I hired you, dude.
That's right.
That's badass.
I research it.
But I will say this, like, as much as I don't want to sit there and watch Mr. Beast or whatever his Squid Game, you know, whatever he's got going on, as a person, I'm super impressed with what he's donated and what he's done, and like on that level,
Yeah.
what a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah. And
Like-
people talk shit on his like Beast Philanthropy website where he's like, they call it like, what's it, like trauma porn or some sort of like victim, like he's like exploitative type of stuff. But
What?
Yeah, I know people get like, but that's like internet people
Dude,
get
get
mad.
the fuck out of here. If you believe in that, turn this podcast off right now, because there is way worse shit happening in this world, dude.
But he gets
right
that
now.
money from you watching that video to help people out. So it's like, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, why wouldn't you not want to give back?
It's a
with your money?
win-win-win. Like, that's what everybody wants in business. Like,
Poverty porn, that's what they call it.
fuck that, dude. No, that's cool, man. He's helping somebody out. It's just, unfortunately, there's a ton of people out there that are, they're not doing shit with their
They're
lives,
just haters,
man.
bro.
I'm sorry, man. They really are. They are literally not doing anything with their lives. If you have time to be a hater, you are not doing anything with your life.
Because hating's easy.
It is a waste of fucking time. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It is a waste of time.
It's like
you could-
looking outward instead of like looking inward. You can just hate on
100%,
stuff.
man.
That's so easy, but like, you know what? I'm gonna stop hating and like maybe I can learn this thing. That's
Anybody
a little
that's
bit better.
throwing shade at you is not doing shit in their life, man. Like, and anybody that's doing well, like, and this podcast has been a testament to that. Like, I don't bring just anybody and everybody in. I bring people in that are passionate about what they do, whether it's video games, video editing, or fucking knocking people out in the ring as fast as they can, or digging for stone tools, or creating stone tools, or living primitively, or saving people's lives. Like, no matter what your passion is, you have to have some sort of passion to be in this scene. Like,
That's-
I don't care what it is. You
it's
have to
kinda
be
why
a
I
real
wanted to-
person, right?
To get back into games, I was like, I need something new to learn.
Yeah.
Because I'm like stale. I was like, I gotta learn something else now.
Yeah, if you're not happy where you're at, fucking, you can change your life. It's not that hard, dude. Like, just do what you want to do, man. Like, that's why I continue to do this. And if you're not doing what you want to do, figure out a way to do it. Just, I think people come up with excuses. Like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough, support. I don't have enough. Well, guess what, dude? You're not going to fucking have it ever.
Yeah.
I'm 4 years into this.
Like if you like it, you'll make time for it.
I do it because I genuinely love doing this. And if you genuinely love doing something and you're passionate about it, then it's not a difficult, nobody wants to go through difficult shit.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a bunch of difficult shit that comes along with this, but these moments like this where you and I get to sit down and have a conversation is the realest, most visceral human connections that I have, whether the microphones were on or an audience was watching or not. Like, this is it, dude. Like, this is why I do it. It's not to be a superstar. I don't want to be a Mr. Beast. I don't want to be a professional hunter. Like, I like talking to people that do interesting things and are passionate about what they do. And I'm so fortunate those people are willing to come on here and share their stories, their time. Like, it takes a lot of time to fucking drive up here to the mountains. Like, dude, you're taking 4 or 5 hours out of your night where you could be at home editing, making money. But it's fun, man. This shit is fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That's kind of like, you kind of have to find things. They kind of find you almost too, of like what you like. Because when I was doing the editing stuff in LA, then I met some friends that we were doing like YouTube videos. We made a video about how like we were becoming DJs. Before it was like the cool thing, because now everyone in Denver's a DJ. It's like, so oversaturated.
Including Tyler, shout out.
Dude, everyone's
What's
a
the DJ name?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Shout
Go
out
follow
Tokyo.
DJ Tokyo.
Yeah.
Is it on Instagram and stuff?
It's on everything.
Okay, fuck yeah, let's go.
But like,
Can we play some of your guys' music tonight without getting fucking copyrighted?
I'm sure.
Let's do that.
That's legal.
Let's do that. Okay.
But yeah,
We're going to put a pin in it, but
we could play some stuff. I like.
dude, this could be a 6-hour podcast,
It
Matt,
might
if
be.
you got time to
If it's-
edit it.
I'll just edit the bad parts out. I might need another juice if we keep doing
There's no
that.
bad parts.
But like, we made this video becoming a DJ, and then the guys at EDC kind of saw it. And we got in with Insomniac, and they saw that we were doing DJ stuff, and we were like in the influencer circuit before like big influencer DJs were a thing. We were like the first ones to be like, oh, we're on YouTube pretending we're DJs, and they started booking us, and we'd bring a crowd, and they realized that was a thing to do, and that's how we got to play all these shows. But then I was like, oh, I can make music, so I downloaded Ableton and started learning the process of that. Then got so into that.
So was this right after film school, or?
Yeah, because I was already messing around.
We're
with
gonna
like,
dive off back and forth, but we are getting into your story.
yeah, because after I was in bands my whole life, and then I learned like a little computer programming for music.
And being a drummer is probably having some sort of
the
rhythm. It's got to
easiest
be
way.
key to what you and Tyler do, right?
Yeah, if you're a drummer, you can make music so easily on the computer, because it's like, as a drummer, the songs in your head. You're like, okay, we're going to this, the build, the structure's in our head as we're playing.
Hell
So
yeah.
when I got to the computer, I was like, oh, I can just lay the structure out here, put the drums in. I always start with the drums and then throw everything in underneath. So that was like the kind of
You
the
got
way
to
of
have
learning.
a rhythm, right?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I learned editing. I can teach myself producing. And then now I'm like, oh, I could teach myself other stuff. It just takes time to like get incrementally better. It's like that one ship goes 1% and it's totally a different way.
Sure. No, I totally get that. So here we got your Instagram
Let's
pulled
see.
up.
I wonder if you go to that mattyghost.com, you can probably get to my SoundCloud from there.
So what's your favorite part about making music?
Oh, man.
And are you still doing
I
it?
did. I didn't update my GoDaddy. I thought I did.
Shit.
That's too bad. Matty, do SoundCloud.com.
Dude, their commercials used to be fucking awesome before the woke culture hit fucking.
I can't believe I thought I canceled another because I had a bunch of landing pages, so I thought I was able to.
Damn, what's the party next door?
Party next door, dude.
New album.
New album, huh?
Matty Ghost is probably on here. Do Peoples. There it is.
Let's
I'm
go.
not sure what's good.
Oh, damn, it's the Pac-Man ghost.
Yeah, I just like found a clip art of that and put
Hell
it up.
yeah.
What's a good one? Like my Post Malone's good. My biggest
Yeah.
one. I'd want to go
I'm
viral.
a fan of Post Malone, so can we listen to that?
That's the top one.
But listen, I actually have some friends that work for him as stage managers Our personal friends of them.
Dude, if we can get this to post, I think he'd love it.
All right, let's fucking do it.
And this one's like more D&B. I can layer this
Does
in
this?
too.
Yeah, layer it in because this doesn't do it justice, right? I'm gonna take the headphones off. So.
This is off his new album, and I always Photoshop myself into pictures of the album that I do.
Oh, that's dope. You're in his pool?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's go, dude. I love that. You gotta send me that picture.
I will.
It's fucking badass.
I got a couple. I'm like, I put myself in every album art. But this stuff reminds me of the old punk rock, like the boom, ka,
Yeah.
boom, ka, ka, boom. It's like
Snare.
it's the old two-step, like
Yeah.
hardcore.
Some wubs in there.
Right? Then you got the break.
Fuck yeah, Matt. Let's go, dude. This is why I wanted to have you on, man. Like, this is not.
If you go to popular tracks, I had one that.
We got to finish this, though, man. This is fucking badass, man. But then after this, I want you to show me your favorite.
Well,
But hey, Posty,
this is my favorite.
check it out, man. Fucking
But
collab with my buddy Matty here.
That Kid Leroy one went viral, and I got like 22K plays on that one.
Hell yeah.
And then if you can't see,
So is SoundCloud,
it's
is
my
that...
face on the album art there. I photoshopped my face into Kid Leroy's face
That's
on there. Oh, that's the old ones, the Bloody Fingers. I made this album, and then I got diagnosed with diabetes, and I was like, I quit music. Like, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then I ended up releasing this album, Bloody Fingers, off of like poking my finger every day and then going to work on the
shit.
song. And then my computer died.
Just from all the human blood on it?
Well, my computer was so old, it couldn't take the. He'll relate to this if you want to pause this one. And this is like, you could see the pictures down below. This was my first album. When did it come out? 3 years ago. When I was like, because I've been producing for a long time, but I was like, I don't want to put anything out. I put some stuff out that wasn't that good. I also started just putting stuff out under my
Do you
old thing.
think quality over quantity is one of my questions for you? Is like
starting out, just put your stuff out. But I was like during the pandemic, I was going live on
what is Raven, dude?
Twitch. I was making all these beats on Twitch and then selling them on a website called BeatStars, where rappers would just license your beats and then rap on them.
Let's listen to one of those. Which one was your favorite of that?
Boom is pretty sick. But these are just like beats.
On your lawn and accidentally created the world's largest computer.
So is SoundCloud, just because I don't know and I'm not in the know and I'm an old school motherfucker, is SoundCloud like the Instagram of music world? Or
yeah, because like other streaming platforms, you have to like get a license from the original artist, like that Post Malone one. If I put that on Spotify or something, they wouldn't let me. They'd take it down. But since I put it on SoundCloud as a free download and don't make any money off of it, it's able to stay there.
So have people gotten SoundCloud famous?
Oh yeah, that's like how all the rappers started with SoundCloud. And like,
Really?
musicians have gotten big on SoundCloud from that too, or like EDM people, because that's where you find all the secret heat that no one like is. You have to dig SoundCloud to find the good stuff.
Right.
It's all remixes and stuff. But like simple beats, I just go onto Twitch and I just make a beat for like 4 hours in the morning and then sell it on BeatStars. And then I made this Bloody Fingers album, and my laptop was so old that I couldn't render. I would make the song, but it wouldn't play. It would just like the CPU would just max out. So it's
I
just
don't
like,
even know what you're talking about.
so like I would make this song, and then it was so I get to the end to like mixing and mastering and make it like perfect, and it would just be so crunchy. It'd be like the whole time that I have to export the song, listen to it, go make notes, go back, make little changes, and then export it again.
Sucks,
like
dude.
it would take hours just to make one change. And I was like, that's when I finally was like, okay, let's finish this album at least. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll keep going.
I kind of want to listen to that Raven.
I mean, I would just
for the name.
Just name stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's even good. Go down a Raven. I was doing the thing where it's like, it's this person's type of beat. Suicide Boy type of beat. So they're not good.
This is cool. This is my type of shit.
I don't know why they're even on here.
Stuff.
Usually I hide all this stuff.
I feel.
All right, let's listen to Matty Ghost's favorite fucking track here. That's dope.
It's like slow, like just SoundCloud rapper. Like, I got my gun.
Yeah,
I do my blow. Like, it's that kind of like the Kid Laroi one's not. I mean, it's good, but it's. I made some of these songs. I'd like see kids out and get really depressed and go home and just make a song. Be like, fuck it, like the Drake 0 to 100 one. I made on Easter because I was like by myself in my apartment. I was like, fuck everybody, I'm just making a song. And I just like make one and put it out in a day. And it kind of like sometimes they catch.
Oh yeah.
Like you never know. What would you like? You might like the.
You got any metal mixes? Because like one of my favorite DJs, what really introduced me to DJs was Z Trip.
Yeah,
you know what that is.
Yeah,
like I love that fucking the Saturday morning cartoon serial song. Have you ever listened to that?
No.
Oh, dude,
can
we play that?
Play what?
You think?
Which one?
Look up Saturday morning cartoons, and then we'll come right back to this. Z Trip, I think.
It's probably 1,000. You might have to search Z Trip also.
Like that Z Trip?
It might,
what about like an Apple Music or something?
Those would definitely get pulled.
Okay.
The
Breakfast Club. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry.
We're going to get an ad. Oh,
Oh,
no.
we got it. We got it.
I mean, this is old school shit, but like just the lyrics and everything that he rapped with this was me growing up as a kid, dude. Like, I loved fucking cereal and I loved watching Saturday morning cartoons.
I like this album art, too. Oh, nice.
I'm so old, dude.
I was like, what is this, dude? this guy's going boom, boom, bop. I started a song when I was at EDC. These kids, they were beatboxers. What was his name? Like Kenny something. They were like doing live beatbox, and I had them over to the studio, and I recorded all their beatbox samples and started working on a song with that. It didn't go anywhere because the hardest thing with music is getting like stuff cleared or like getting people okaying. Working with lots of people, then getting that out because I've lost friends and like. If you can search this one, search Vitamin A.
This is dope though. Go back and listen to it. If you grew up in my era, like it is.
Put Double Dare. This is my old duo.
It's about eating cereal, reading the box, and watching cartoons at the same time.
Okay, that one's below the one with the face. This is my first big thing that came out on Diplo's label, but I'm not sure we pulled this, but. We shot this like they literally bought us a music video to shoot.
This is you? Is that you? Are you the waiter?
I am the waiter. So this is like what? But like,
damn! Look at the young Matty Ghost.
But we were all like in this. We were in a big label, like Mad Decent, trying to figure out splits for. I've never seen a dime off the song, but like we're figuring out who gets what on the song, and it was like almost broke up friendships just off of like a label release of a song. It was like a joke song, a joke tech house song back in the day. That was a cake that someone made.
What was the dude's name that fuck, why am I drawing a fucking blank? the Netflix subscription fucking song. He was like a joke artist. He was like the newest Weird Al Yankovic, but a rapper.
Not Bo Burnham. He had a Netflix thing and he was doing.
No, it wasn't a Netflix thing.
It wasn't like Casey Fry or.
No, dude, I fucking.
Shout out my boy Steve. That's Blake Weber. But yeah, you could pause this. That was like an old like tech house video that we did.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
pretty fire though.
Thank you. But like that all came from one YouTube video of like, we're DJs. You can even search on YouTube. Sorry, we keep doing this. Even being in your seat, I hate when they're like, search this. I'm like, Blake Weber becoming a DJ. And this also has if I had to plug anything, I made a movie on here called,
You did? See, like this is all the shit I want to see.
to do two B's in Weber. Maybe this might, it's like a 30 for 30. Yeah. If you want to see 7 years ago, like click to the middle or something. Yeah. Like, look at this. This is us like,
I'm out, dude. I'm not even gonna be a DJ anymore. I'm done, dude. Fuck that shit.
we were like making these like dramatic YouTube videos about becoming and we're putting them around 30 for 30, like the ESPN documentaries. But then we got to like the episode of like when we played EDC is like 30 for 30. Now we're playing EDC type of thing.
Over to DJ Matty Go's house right now.
And he just kept coming over. He came over to my house later.
Dude,
Damn, look at the young Matty Ghost right there with the clean haircut.
Apologize. I didn't think I needed to because it was his fucking fault that Steve fucking left the pool. It's his fucking fault.
Dude, yeah, these are wild. And then
We actually smoothed it out.
And we came together.
but yeah, this is how it all started. Was these videos about becoming a DJ.
And it was later that night when I went home, you know, and I was just chilling, and I fucking.
And the whole thing was like we got booked to play a pool party, but it turned out to be like a side stage at like a clothing store, like pop-up shop. But like it was like we took everything so seriously. Like we're playing this big playing this big pool set, and it says we went to the main stage, and they're like, no, you're not playing the main stage, but someday we'll be back on that pool stage. And then we have an episode where we actually were invited back to play that pool stage, and it was like we're back on that pool stage, and they come back to this, and we have, but it's like a bunch of crap we threw in to make it seem dramatic.
It's made me fucking motivated even more to kill the game even harder with our tracks because it's like one day I'll fucking be on that pool stage, but for now.
And we made a video where it started like, one day we'll be back on that pool stage. And it's like, we got the call. But yeah, it's 7 years ago. That was wild that we were doing this. But if out of like all this culminated, if you go back to the main channel.
And it was fucking blistering heat outside. First DJ didn't want
On the
to
Blake
move
Weber
his-
channel.
Yeah, that was my old roommate that we made a bunch of videos with. Pause this one because it's going to get demonetized. We had like all these, we did podcasts, stuff like that. I wonder if you go on videos, and in here, if you scroll down, there's one called Yeti Island right there. This is if you want to watch something that I made, this is a movie we all made about three friends that go to it's 30 minutes long, so you don't even have to play it. But it's we go to an island for like a trip just for fun, and we see like a Yeti, like a Bigfoot type of thing, but we call it the Yeti, like a river Yeti. But it's a found footage horror movie comedy about going on this fishing trip and discovering this monster out there. And it was like,
So it's like a Blair Witch type
Yeah,
fucking
and
type vibe, right?
we were going on a road trip, and I was like, dude, why don't we just make a damn movie about and like make fun of what we're doing? and it just came out. It took like a year to edit. We had like professional people from like studios do the color work on it, and we spent so long making this movie. We did pickup shots and ADR, and it was like it was a lot of fun.
I read on a website that there's a robust population.
But yeah, you don't have to play it.
in the state of Arizona.
if I'm plugging it.
That's awesome.
Definitely
man.
check that out someday. It's a pretty fun movie.
That's funny.
See, this is why we do this, man. I didn't know any of this about like you or your background. This all kind of makes sense now. Like,
Yeah.
why you're so good and
I was
creative.
killing it, then I got diabetes, and it just derailed me.
So,
But now I'm back.
yeah, you are back, dude. I mean, not drinking, not fucking. You're working out now.
I'm just getting swole.
You're getting out of the basement a
Getting
little bit,
healthy,
dude.
yeah.
You look good, man.
Thank you.
Like from when I first met you, like even 6 months ago, like you
I was a
fucking
sad
crushing
boy.
it, man.
I got a great
Yeah.
girlfriend. Shout out Alana.
Hell yeah,
She's helped me
Let's
out a
go.
lot.
Let's go.
There she is in the picture of a flamingo with me as a ghost.
Hell yeah.
Boom. Man, I'm really going to be cutting to the screen a lot in this one.
You got your editing
I know,
work cut out.
I'm-
This better be the best damn
made it
edited
hard on me.
podcast ever.
I'll put like green screen aliens dancing in it. But yeah, then
Let's go.
the rest is history.
So, okay, so we went kind of through your music phase, but like, what was the driving force for you to? Did you just kind of fall into this, or was it
like
was
editing stuff or all of, I kind of fell
Editing-
into everything I do.
I guess music, really, just to bring it back a little bit,
Because I've always
because
been in a band and like loved making music, and then I figured I can do it myself. And right now I'm a little jaded by the scene, and I haven't put out a song in like almost a year, just because I haven't like wanted to or had time / felt the motivation to do it. But I know I'll come back to it. Like I know it. Like I can sit
You
down
should,
and rock something out. One of these days I'll have the time to do
Oh, yeah.
something. But it's I do like doing it. But right now the current state of Denver DJ world is kind of like you got to be. They always get the new people, or you have to like know someone, and I don't want to do that networking thing anymore.
this is awesome, man. Like I've learned
Yeah.
so much about you tonight.
I know I kind of stay hidden sometimes. Like I don't divulge a lot.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're all right. But
Oh, yeah.
you're the editor, so you can edit
I know.
out anything you don't want.
It's gonna be a 10-minute
You're gonna
podcast
make
when I'm
me
done.
just
I'm like,
make me look like a jackass.
grew up in
during-
Junction, and then it ends.
Done. Deleted. I lost the file.
Right?
All right, so I want to go back into music a little bit because that is my background. It's crazy hearing you guys talk about it from that sort of that angle, you and Tyler, because I'm so out of the know on that end. But I started as a tour manager working for A&R reps. And the reason why I left being a tour manager is because my salary was based on how well the band did, and it wasn't even artists back then. Like I had fucking 5 motherfuckers that I had to keep in line. Like there was no like hired like band members, so they were all collaboratively working together. And then when it came to getting a big record deal or something, that's where I really was. That's what I was banking on, right? Like hopefully these guys sign a contract and get a $300,000 signing bonus, so
And
I
then
get
you're-
$3,000. Right?
It goes
Like,
up as a TM when you're doing that.
yeah, well, it goes. You're paid on percentages, right? So
So I
it's
think
like,
now TMs are
it's like a
like,
commission, really.
yeah, I think they just are hired to plug in the DJ, like get him to the venue, plug in his flash drive, and make sure he wakes up for his
Dude,
flight.
it's so different. When I first started touring, even with divas and stuff, we were just freelancers. So we were 1099 employees. So everybody started their own business. You had tax write-offs. They still paid for all of your travel. They still gave you per diem. They still, that was all kind of negotiated at the get-go. But now, like if you go to work for an artist, you have to sign like a W-2.
No.
Like you're an employee of them. And it was just more like one lump sum I had to pay into taxes. But now the guys that tour, I mean, one reason why I've just totally left it is they have to pay taxes in every state that they're in. And if you're on a world
wow.
tour,
Yeah, that's rough.
dude, the accountant that you need costs fucking 10 grand for the year.
I have a great accountant that like, if I get paid, I'm still 1099 as a DJ. So when they pay me from the club and send me my taxes, I'm like, oh man, I bought some microphones and stuff to record and make my music. I can write that off, which is still kind of nice.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. I mean, the the business side of music has totally fucking changed.
Yeah.
Totally changed.
I don't get it. Like I'm kind of flawed too, and this is probably why I don't get booked as much anymore, but I would just take any show I got, and if they paid me like $50, they paid me like 300, I'd be like, whatever. Everyone's like, you gotta have your minimum, you gotta do your thing. I'm like, I just want to go play. I want to hear my songs loud so I can go back home and be like, this needs to be louder. Like, I just wanted to hear it on the speakers, and I like the environment of playing live and hyping up the crowd. And I was never in it for the money. I think that was a detriment to my career as a musician because I didn't.
Yeah, but it's for the passion, right? That's probably why you're not doing it now, right? Because you've kind of lost the passion for all the bullshit that comes along.
It just
with
became like people saying, "Oh, don't take this one because you're not getting paid enough," or like it all became about money. And I'm like, I just wanted to. I have like funny songs that I want to play live, or like they get mad.
Anybody that is chasing a dollar, you're not going to be successful, man.
No.
I'm sorry, man.
That's
or
kinda-
you might have some success, but it's not going to last that long
No.
because it reads right through.
Yeah, and I just wanted to have fun with it, and it stopped being fun. So like a lot of people get shows from like DMing people, like, "Hey, come we play your show," and I just don't want to do that because I'm like, oh, I got to deal with all this other shit now.
That's kind of how I am with sponsorship too for this thing, man. It's like we could probably be doing a lot better than we are, which we probably should be. But I don't want to go out and ask people for money, dude. Like that's not. I want them to come to me. Like I want it to be organic and just be like, hey, we're happy with what you're doing. We want to work with you. And I think that if you're doing a good job, that happens. And that's how we've gotten our sponsors.
And I feel like, maybe also I'm not getting booked because I haven't put anything out in a while. Like that's like the hubris of like, oh, I see someone doing something I want to do. I'm like, oh, I'm jealous and I don't want to make a song anymore because I get kind of like caught up in my own head about it. Like, what's the point? It's a little nihilistic every once in a while, but that's what...
Man, the guys that it seems that anyways that pop up in my algorithm, and maybe it's because I follow a bunch of bow hunters and all the people that we have on, are like some of these country kids are just fucking crushing, like Zach Bryant. Like,
yeah.
He's super cool, man. I started talking to him, early on in his career through a DM.
Is that the guy that just threw the chair over
I don't know.
Was that Zach Bryant? You like threw a chair over the balcony and hit a cop and got in trouble?
Really?
Was it
like a Conor McGregor style?
No,
fucking
search country star chair throw. I don't know about it. Maybe it's... I don't know much about country. I own a Jason Aldean cowboy hat, which I think is funny. Oh, Morgan Whalen threw the chair.
Okay, that makes sense.
He like threw a chair off a balcony and hit a cop.
Damn, that sucks. He probably didn't mean to hit a cop.
He was like, he was getting rowdy.
Yeah.
And threw
he
it out.
is like a Waylon Jennings type character.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I do miss the rowdy days. That was always fun.
Oh, that was the best country. But I think it's making a resurgence because of all these, like Zach Bryant started out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was just, an Instagram and that sort of thing. He was in the Navy and like started playing his guitar like in a barn drunk, really. I mean, and next thing you know, he's on a fucking huge stage arena tour, like fucking crushing, playing Red Rock, selling it out 2 or 3 nights in a row. Like,
yeah. That's the dream, is to play Red Rock still.
Yeah?
My girlfriend's
You haven't played it yet?
No.
Really?
No, not yet. Hopefully
It's
soon.
coming,
Do you have contacts?
I do.
Let's just get me in a Red Rock.
I do, actually.
I kind of burned a bridge. AEG, they're I don't care. They're like a local. The AEG's like the people that book like the big shows, and they asked me to edit some stuff for them. And then my biggest problem is I take on too much. Like, this too. Like edit this. I'm like, okay, I got it. So I get all these editing projects in, and then I freak out because I can't finish everything, and I just like, instead of actually doing them, I just sit down and play my I just play my Nintendo Switch. Like, everything will work out. And then people are like, where are my fucking edits? And I'm like, okay, I messed up. And they got mad at me, and they book a lot of big shows. I'm like, okay, I kind of fucked myself by not finishing their cat meme edit that I should have.
So
them.
why do you procrastinate? Because I do sometimes too.
Anxiety.
Like sometimes I'm just like, fuck it, dude. Like sometimes I get pissed off and I just like, I'm just fucking done.
I have a hard time
I want to
saying
go hang
no.
out with my kids.
I can't say no because I want everyone to like me.
Really?
And then I get caught up in like having to do these projects because everyone thinks the edit can take like 10 minutes, but it really takes like 5
they
hours.
are fucking, yeah.
And I keep getting myself in these pigeonholes of like, edit this, edit this, edit this. And then it just builds up and I have to spend like my days off just chopping all day.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I won't get to a certain one and I'll instead of doing it, I'll just panic about not doing it.
Dude, I'm so grateful to have you,
Then
Matty,
I'll just
dude.
freak out.
I'm so grateful to have you. I hope you have fun editing what we do here, though. I mean,
I've learned a lot. I would never say editing's fun though.
fuck no.
No.
Kidding me?
It's a grind. Like in the future, I see myself editing like more of my own projects. Like maybe we train some people up here and I could free up some time. Cause I do think I could do my own YouTube or stuff like that. And my girlfriend talks to me about like, hey, you should focus on yourself
Invest
more.
your time in yourself.
Yeah. So I think like
I agree, dude.
maybe in a couple months when we like build this and we train some other people, I can finally take like a month or so to kind of like figure out what I want to do with my own voice.
When I approached you too, it was, and this doesn't need to be on the podcast or not. Like I'll let you choose.
I was
that.
needing work though.
Yeah, but it wasn't even about that, dude. It's your creative ability, and like I saw your talent in that, and I view you more as like your time is more valuable than just being stuck behind the computer. Like it's more of like a creative director. Like you need to be in a director's role. Mm-hmm. Like you are so creatively smart, Matt. Like unbelievably smart, man. Like it's almost like if you had, like nobody is successful completely by themselves. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're to relate to our audience, if you're Cameron Haynes or you're Joe Rogan or whatever, there is a team behind that person, right? Like there's a team of people that help them produce. And I'm very open about this. There's a team behind me, man. It's not all me, man. I got fucking Tyler here. I got Jeremy. I got you. I got Gabby. I got Derek. I mean, there's anybody that says, it's just me putting this shit out, or like, I'd be hard pressed, or they're working their asses off ad nauseum and not having any other sort of life. I mean, the effort that I put into this is huge. The effort that you put into this is huge. And the people that take time out of their day, like Tyler, to come in here, man, it's fucking cool, dude. And it's really because you guys believe in what I'm doing. And that makes me feel fucking good, you know? And I think that's the reason we have an audience too, is like,
I feel
people
somewhere in the
believe
future
in you, you know?
there's some path. I gotta like I call it like buffering. You know when like you load up a YouTube video and it like buffers a little bit. I feel like I have to buffer because I kind of want that like platform for myself someday. I just don't know how to do it, and I'm like in the middle of my buffering.
You just have to get good at saying no. And this is something that I've had to learn in the last couple of years, especially with this podcast. I get invited to so many things. I get invited to archery shoots, to other podcasts, to events, fights. I get invited to, charity events. I get invited to all kinds of different shit. And just a simple no is just like, I'm sorry, I can't make it. Or like, it doesn't have to be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. And that's what
Just
I think
like,
is,
I'm
it
sorry.
is in my head is like, oh, if I say no, it comes off like
You
that.
have to keep you have to keep that North Star, I think. And my North Star right now is the mountainside, because this is genuinely what I love. Yes, I want to go out and do all those things and experience all those things. Like there's times where I get, is it FOMO? Is that what the young kids call it?
That's a Gen Z term. It's not even Gen Z anymore.
Okay.
That's too old for Gen Z.
But yeah, there's times where it's like, I get invited
They call
to
it regret maxing now, I think.
regret. I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Dude, I'm on the pulse of pop culture, bro.
But just get good at saying, just say no. I mean, stick with people that,
okay, Nancy Reagan.
Yes, you got to make this a clip.
That's good advice, though, saying no, because it's something that I cannot do.
Matt, just say no. Fuck him.
Guys, this is to
Just
the
don't say
viewers.
no to me, please.
I'll tell Bobby maybe, but everyone else gets no. It's hard saying no.
It is hard. It is hard because
I really want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I really want to like learn this video game stuff, but I just like every day off I have is I'm not sure if because my day job is that taking
Yeah.
up time, and it's like the worst schedule. It's like 12 to 8. It's like what do I
here's-
do between that time?
Here's another problem. People to live in today's society. My hat goes off to anybody that has kids and any sort of normal job because it is fucking hard, man. Like it's hard to keep up. It's hard.
That might be my exit strategy. I just get a kid and tell everyone I can't do anything anymore. And then just like,
No,
it's a
just
baby and I can learn coding.
No, that's not
I just rock the cradle.
no, that's not an excuse, dude. Like
Making dubstep next to
no, it's going to be even worse.
Matty
because-
Jr.
It's going to be even worse because you're going to be like, fuck, I got to provide for this kid now.
But like you're going to be the best producer ever.
Right.
Start at a young age.
But if I took all the effort that I put into this podcast and put it into real estate development,
Exciting.
I would have made 10 times the amount of money, but I'd be a miserable fuck. And I'd probably be a miserable fuck when I go home. And I want to be the superhero for my kids. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, it's that
I always think
double-edged
back
sword
to like
of,
if I would talk to myself before I went to college, I'd be like, "Oh, learn computer programming." But like, if I'm learning it now, I would have to tell myself, "Yo, learn all the music to go behind this thing." And I was like, "Oh, I already got that." So it's like, kind of it is a double-edged sword. It's like you have this experience. Why would you go back to tell yourself to get a different experience where you can just add on to the experience that you already have?
No, you're 100% right in that because I think if you have any sort of creative drive or creative knack towards something, you can apply that in so many different
like
avenues.
you
Yeah,
have to-
wherever you want to do it, you can really.
The hardest part
excel.
for creative people is learning how to learn. Like, because you're taught the way growing up, and I always think I had to reteach myself how to learn Ableton and stuff. Because I was like, I'm not going to open a book and memorize how to do it. It's like more of a kinesthetic, hands-on.
You also have to have discipline. Creatively, you have to have discipline. Like, there's times where even with this podcast, I'm like, dude, fuck this week, you know, like, and I could say, no, I don't want to do it, or I don't feel good, or I'm sick, or whatever. I could come up with a million fucking excuses to not record a podcast.
Yeah. Have you ever read The Four Agreements?
Yeah.
You know that book? And
Yep.
it's like be impeccable with your word is one of the agreements.
Yeah.
I have like a mentor that I used to talk to, and that was like, he was driving that home. I was like, he's like, you're not really impeccable with your word. And like, we talk about like, oh man, this person didn't stop this person didn't come up to the podcast. And I was like, you were texting me. I was like, oh, I saw my schedule wrong, but I'm still going to be impeccable with my word by saying, hey, I said I was going to do a podcast.
You're the fucking man.
I'm
when
gonna
it
do
comes
the
to that,
podcast.
dude. You shut up early.
That's something I practice on.
Yeah. No, that's a huge thing, I think, too. I think that goes a long ways. I mean, also on the other end of that, like the guests that we're having in now are at such a high level and they're doing extraordinary things with their careers. And there's a million fucking podcasts out there. Like, I don't expect anything from anybody. Like, and I don't think you should.
That's
I think
that's part
I
of the
want
four
people-
agreements, dude. That's an agreement, and the four
Yeah.
agreement is like don't assume is one of the agreements. Don't
Right.
assume from anything.
And I hold people's time super valuable. Like, it takes a lot of time to come up and do a podcast, man. And especially if you're like trying to be a professional athlete, right? If you're a CrossFit lifter like Katie Knight, or you're a bare knuckle boxer like Chris Camozzi or Yuli Monster Diaz, Dustin Jacoby, Brandon Royval, all these people that we've had in, I mean, they have to focus on what their career is. So like, I want to make it more of like a retreat. That's why it is the mountainside. Like I want them to have a break from their normal life and have a good time. I don't want them coming in here in a stressed out state. Like nobody's going to have a good time that way. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm very laid back with it. And even like having Derek Wolf on, I mean, he's a busy guy. He's a fucking awesome guy. Like every time I see him, he's like, Bobby, gives me a fucking great big hug.
Derek's
You know
great.
what I mean? Like, and I just value people's time, and then being genuine is so important to what I do. But I would appreciate just a simple no too, rather than just like, yeah, I think I could be there on whatever, and then I'm banking on that. You know, I think it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
I appreciate that more than I do. And I think that those professionals in their career, like your Chris Camozzi's or your, you know, whoever I've just name dropped that we've had on, your Donnie Vincent's, like, you know, some of the guests that have traveled in for the podcast, like Yuli, came all the way from fucking Miami, and they're here during a fight camp, and they took 4 or 5 hours out of their day to come sit down and hang out with me and talk shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, I want them to have the best time that they can absolutely have. And if they're not going to, I'd rather them just say no.
Yeah.
So you got to think about it that way. You know what I mean? Just say no.
I think that's valuing your own time, which is difficult.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no concept of time.
Well, you got to go into everything that you do with a good state and be present. I think. Mm-hmm. Whether it's me hanging out with my kids or going to a basketball game or going to do somebody else's podcast, I have a ritual, a routine that I do before every podcast. I have to do like a cold plunge. I got to fucking work out. Like I can't come in here, which is awesome. It's helped me stay on track and keep me accountable. Is like, I have to check all these boxes for me to feel good in this space.
Yeah, I need to practice that. I feel like the cartoon, like Wile E. Coyote, when he runs off a cliff and he's just like spinning real fast before he falls. I like constantly feel like that. Like, oh shit, we're gonna fall any second now. Like,
That's a horrible feeling, man.
I know, it
That's
sucks,
a
dude.
horrible way to go through life.
I know.
dude. Like, you can't feel that. Well, like, you have to. Confidence is key, man. Like, as cliche as that fucking sounds.
I know you can be addicted to like that feeling too. Like stress is like because it still probably hits your dopamine things. Like I'll like be driving around at work and I'll be looking at a podcast like, what is nihilism? And like listen to them like, that's right. But like, what's the point? That's like bad. It's like eating junk food for your brain.
It really is, man. Like, you can go and crush, you know, easily 10,000 calories like that, right?
It's a lot of insulin.
Yeah. But if you're getting fresh fuel, like, you got to treat your brain the same way. I think the brain is where everything starts. If you want to be physically fit, if you want to be mentally there, if you want to be cognitively functional, like, don't shy away from any of these hacks to go get, not even hacks, like any of these supplements to go get that little bit of edge. And taking in audiobooks, that's the one thing that I think really has helped me perspectively put myself in different perspectives and think out loud and be able to have engaging conversation in here is listening to audiobooks. It's not other podcasts, because you'll just regurgitate what you've heard and spit it out. But I feel like with a book, it's a little bit more educated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I listened to that Atomic Habits on audiobook recently.
That's a great book too.
But I like practiced it for like 2 weeks. Then it was like, I think of my brain sometimes as like a toilet. And then like, sometimes
think
that
everybody
flush
has
and
that,
and
man.
it goes, yeah.
I think you have to take those things in, but you don't, like, just because you listen to something doesn't mean that you have to apply it to your life.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's a balance. Like, you are your own person. You have to create your own path. You have to climb your own mountain. You have to fucking punch through your own wall. You have to be your own Kool-Aid man, right? Like, whatever your flavor is, and the fucking tiles falling down in the Kool-Aid when you bust through the wall, those are those little inspirations that come in. I mean, that's
Have you
a
ever-
fucking really bad analogy.
Have you ever
but, like,
surfed? You surfed when you were in LA?
all the time?
So
dude.
I always
that
think
was my fucking dude. I wanted to be a surfer so bad.
Me too.
Point Break was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Dude, I loved surfing, but I would get in a lineup and I'd get seasick waiting, just going up and down.
Really?
I'd throw up in the water, and everyone's like, "Oh, dude, fucking get out of here!" Like, but I always think of like my passions as big waves, or like even people I hang out with as big waves. Because you kind of have to wait for the big wave. Like, okay, I see this video game thing coming. I see the wave coming. I want to ride that wave, and I get nervous if I like, oh, this other wave came. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good wave. Like, oh, editing all these projects. or making music. I'm gonna ride this wave, but then I missed out on the big wave that I wanted to ride. So that's kind of
Yes.
like, I try to think about, I'm like in a lineup right now in my brain. I'm like, I have all these possibilities. These waves are coming in. What wave do I really want to hit? Do I want to waste my time? Because once I get to the shore, I'm like, okay, that's burnout. You're at the shore. You're like, I got to paddle back out. I got to paddle through the wave that I wanted to. Do I even want to ride that wave again, or wait for that wave to come again?
Well, I think it's finding like-minded people that, because like I said, you have to do it with a team. And one reason why I brought you on is like, it's finding like-minded people that can understand you creatively. And then also share your same sort of kind of vision, and people that fucking respect you, man. Like, you have to be respected. Like, I don't ever say, Matt, you have to edit this podcast.
Yeah.
I say, do you have time?
You do,
every
yeah.
fucking week, every week, right? And you have to treat people as your equals. And I think that, just being disciplined in your own self-gratification, like if you're not good mentally or physically, feeling good about yourself, you can't succeed at other things, whether it's being a good dad, being a good editor, being a good spouse, being a good whatever, right? Like, there is a selfish element that comes to that, where you have to take care of your number one first, and then you can solve all these other problems.
Yeah, it comes
Right?
from respecting your number one, because that's my biggest issue, is like the self-respect.
Yeah.
It's like, I just burn the candle at both ends, and then
No,
what do you
it's
got?
not good
Yeah, it's
for
hard.
you, man.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You
It's
can't do that.
difficult.
And you can't do it for other people, man. Like, take care of yourself first, and then worry about them. And the most gratifying thing is doing things for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why I get involved with nonprofits. There's a reason why I take time out of my day to spend genuine time with my kids. That is the most gratifying thing that I experience in life, dude, is making them happy. Or even my guests that come in here, like making them walk out of here feeling like they had a good time sitting in the hot seat. Like, even though it's a hot seat, it's not, dude. It's like, I just want them to come in and be relaxed. I want it to be the best podcast experience they've ever had. Like, the most relaxed. Like, there's no scripted shit. We're not fucking trying to come up with some sort of agenda. There is no agenda. Like,
You sure?
let's just hang
let's
out.
make one, dude.
Yeah.
Drones are birds, dude.
Exactly.
We got to find an agenda, dude. That's my
There's
problem.
a squirrel living in my fucking broke down car, dude. I had to fucking bust out.
No way.
Building a nest, yeah. Not
Just
a squirrel.
chilling?
It's a chickmunk.
Oh, that's like
Those
squirrel
little
lights.
motherfuckers. Yeah. They're smaller and faster, bro.
Dude, yes. Have you ever seen a black squirrel?
Oh, yeah. The Batman squirrels?
Yeah, I've never seen one. I want to so bad.
You want to know what's fucked up about that? Is they were trying to eradicate red squirrels in Denver, and a bunch of like animal rights activists they were like capturing these red squirrels so they didn't get euthanized.
Like
basically.
eco-terrorism
Yeah.
with squirrels.
No, they were bringing it up here to the mountains, and now we have no black squirrels because the red squirrels kill them.
Took over.
Yeah.
Dude.
So now they're an endangered species because they were trying to help. I don't know. It's fucked up, dude. Like, you can't just fucking transplant.
No,
animals.
that's why they make you like
It's an
check your
invasive
shoes when
species.
you like leave Hawaii. They're like,
Yeah.
you don't have any bugs in the middle of your
You know,
shoes.
there's no snakes in Hawaii.
No, really? Yeah, right? Because
Yeah.
they're all in Florida in the toilets.
100%. 100%.
I had a pet snake growing up.
Did you?
I had-
What kind of snake?
It was a corn snake. It was given to me as a gift, and I was terrified of it. And his name was Martin Corn Snakesy. And I thought I just liked the name. But I had like a
Are
moment.
those the ones that are red, black, green, or
Yeah,
something?
they're like
Or
red,
black,
They're
yellow?
like the tiny ones that you can get at at like PetSmart. And I had a realization one day. I was like, I was in the basement. I was like, I'm in a box. You're in a box, dude. That's not cool. And I like saved up all summer and bought him like a tank as big as this. And he was like this big. And I bought him like a tank like this.
Hell yeah.
And I donated him to like a children's
living like the 50s.
children's school that he would get played with every day. And I was like, Martin, you're on your own now. Like, go live.
Hell yeah.
I got scared of that. I don't know why I went there. There was no snakes.
So bringing it back to the creative side, one thing I wanted to bring up before I forget is, have you read any of Steven Pressfield stuff?
I feel like I have. It's
It's not the
the War of Art. Oh yeah. I got that, and I
The Artist's Journey. I think there's
I got all those, and then I would buy them for my friends too. Like the Resistance.
yes.
The whole thing about like resistance hits is like an evil spirit that comes in when you're trying to be creative. I learned from that one of like you're talking about the ritual, and that's the Stephen Pressfield, like, oh, if you're going to create something, light a candle and then fill up your water and then set up your space. And then,
Oh, really?
Then you go
like
into
a
it.
seance.
Yeah,
type
he has
shit.
he talks about a ritual to get rid of the
dude,
resistance.
he's got a whole prayer and stuff. Like I don't accept it all, but we're talking to Steve. I talked to Steven.
Nice.
I'm hoping he'll come on here, dude.
That'd
He's
be
a
sick.
fucking interesting dude.
Yeah,
very interesting.
I used to buy like stacks of his book on Amazon. Every time my friend was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, read this, dude.
Yeah.
I gave it to my girlfriend, gave it to my roommate.
It's dope though, man. And it's kind of true, man. It's like, it's the discipline side of creativeness and like understanding, because I think as a creative, you can have, like you said, it's like riding those waves. There's so many waves coming in. Which one do I get on?
Or do you want to be
Which way
disciplined
do
with
I
just
go?
riding waves? Too.
Yeah.
That comes.
That's it.
I bought a new computer screen when I started my last job, and I was playing with the settings one day, and it said how long it's been on, and it was like 1,100 hours that I had sat behind it and edited it, and I was like, oh shit, I hit my 10,000 hours on this screen
Wow.
alone, and it was late in my career. And I was like, that's crazy. I think I have a picture of it. Like that's how long the screen had been on when I worked.
That's insane. I can't do it. Like, but there's some sort of passion that you have to do that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. I like editing's the final draft of everything. Like it's the editor's notes. That's what I call my editor. Like it's the final draft. So it's kind of fun to go in and put the final, I call it like sauce in it, or you put the final spin on everything and put it out. And that's
You're
what's
so
pretty
good at it though.
Thank
man.
you.
You're so fast too.
It's like second nature now. I can dream in it sometimes.
Like you have some sort of spider sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna fucking fuck up right here.
you like think in like milliseconds, even like,
You're right.
and it's the same as making music. They're all music and Final Cut are like the same. It's like the hi-hats are kind of like your effects. You got your main bass and melody, and then you got your other like stuff underneath, like the structure of it. It's all like a grid that goes up to down and then side to side. It's like the same interface. I was like, then video games is like the Z axis you add to that. So I'm like, I want to learn something that adds the extra layer to this already computer world that I'm in.
Yeah, I guess I've always kind of had that in the back of my mind. Like I was going to create some sort of film or like some sort of something. I loved, like one of my favorite things to do as a kid was listening to morning radio. Like in the DJs just talking shit. Like that was the original podcast.
Like Loveline and stuff
not even
back in the
like
day?
Howard Stern. No, like KBPI. Like being a Denver guy. Like listening to Willie B and him get on a plane and fly to Detroit and punch another DJ in the face and then get back on a plane and come home and like
Willie B's wild.
Yeah, dude. Fucking awesome, man. And I gotta get Willie on here, man.
I kind of just want to leave something behind. Like make something and leave it behind for like the future generations, or
like you can't, like a time capsule, like you can't
so
open it.
That's or like a creative project that sticks around that people can keep revisiting.
I think something that's timeless, dude, is
I'd
is
rather
huge.
show my kid like this game I created than like scroll this Instagram with me in bottle service. Like, oh, look how cool I was, kid. Like,
See,
no, I don't want
yeah,
to do that.
that's the
like
thing.
It's diminishing returns being a DJ. It's like, how many times can you go out and get like a free bottle of tequila, play a song that someone else made, and be like, everyone loved me, dude. Like, nothing's lonelier than playing a giant show and then going home by yourself. Like, it's so weird. It's such a weird feeling. And I was like, I don't want that anymore. I'd rather create stuff that lasts instead of just like the in the moment performance, which I guess is its own thing, but I think there's a bigger picture there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because I've had that same experience, man.
Like, this stuff will last. You can show these podcast people.
Oh no, I really think about that. It's in the back of my mind when I'm just talking shit. It's like, is this a good influence for my kids, right? Because,
Yeah.
like, this is something that's archivable and time stamped, and who knows?
We can take your
These
voice,
servers
put it
could
into
all go.
AI. I can make a whole thing.
I'm sure.
Dude, it's wild what they can do now.
Dude, I've had guests on where I'm like, hey, will you please send me a short bio? And they don't. So I'm just like,
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Hit it up.
yeah, make a short bio. And if it's somebody that has some sort of internet influence at all, it writes something way better than I can.
Yeah.
100%.
I do my cover letters in that now too. If I'm like applying for a job, I like copy and paste like my things. I was like, put this in as I want to work for a car company editing their videos, and it's like spits out a thing.
Well, I just wonder how much that's diminishing humans in general. Like, how many people are writing their resumes with the AI? It's got to be a shitload.
Well, it frees up more time to work on the
Fuck yeah,
actual
dude.
craft.
Why not? Why
I think
not?
cover letters are the because I was trying to get when I was applying for jobs. Someone's like, "Oh, we got 1,000 applicants in a day." I'm like, "No one's reading that cover letter. You think someone's reading 1,000 cover letters? It's a book, dude."
Yeah.
It's hard. I've never got a job through an internet thing. I've always got it through like someone knows someone recommended me.
Yeah, the human connection.
Yeah,
right?
and that's the most important. That's why I keep saying yes to stuff because you're like, I never know where it's going to lead, but it's also very like.
But I think there's a lot of people out there that don't even have that human connection.
Yeah, that's hard.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like an online world,
Yeah.
especially now with like Instagram and stuff. Like, you can get caught up in that real easy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think we could even with the podcast. It's
Dude,
like
I'm a
you get
big
caught
fan
up.
of the mute button. You mute people on Instagram. You're like, I like this
Oh,
guy,
really?
but not enough to unfollow him.
Okay,
I hit
you gotta
that
teach me that shit,
Yeah, the
Matt.
mute is the thing.
Okay.
My Instagram is just like, dude, my Instagram's terrible right now. It's just like cute little teddy bears going like, I love you. And I just send that to my girlfriend and I like it. And then it just sends
Like
me more
the
like,
fucking Care
it's like,
Bears?
well, I'm a little penguin that farts. And then I send it to my girlfriend. That's my entire Instagram. It's great because I muted like every DJ, everybody. And now it's just like, here's a cute thing you can send your girlfriend. I'm like, this is actually kind of fun. I go to the bathroom and send like 4 memes. And then I'm done.
One of my favorite guests that we've had on here and is a genuine friend, man. Like, this guy is a fucking savage. Jeremiah Blackbeard on Instagram. Pull up his Instagram
Was I
real
working
quick,
on that
Tyler.
one?
Yeah, I'm sure that you did.
Is he a pirate? Jeremiah Blackbeard?
No,
Is he
War
related
Party
to the
movement.
Blackbeards?
This guy should be. Yep. Jeremiah.
I was here for
_
that.
Blackbird. Oh yeah.
We talked about mustaches, dude.
Yeah, he's the fucking man, dude. But he summed it up best, man. Like, if you're following people for fucking inspiration, like, Instagram is a highlight reel to your life, dude. And you even made a clip. There's your clip right there, actually. Play that one real quick.
Is it that one?
You fucking captured it great, dude.
It's a highlight reel.
You made that one, dude.
No, you made it.
Did I? Oh.
Show you. And I think that people that understand that can use that as motivation. You're just following the wrong people, man. Like, there's way too many cool companies and people and great things going on to be down these like super negative rabbit holes or like hating what's going on with America or social media or anything.
Yeah, I know. I trash talk it all the time, but then I'll turn around and...
Yeah, I've been making the short ones. The 20-second reel are popping.
Dude, that's awesome, though. I mean, that's probably my favorite short that we've made of all time because it is him speaking truth, and it's so valuable to people, man. Like, don't fucking... It's not the platforms. They're not ruining your life. You're ruining your own life. You get to pick and choose
He's definitely
What you say
rubbing
yes
something
to.
on that mustache, though. There's some secret behind that, dude.
Oh, dude. This guy's a secret operator, bro.
Yeah, that's
Like,
probably what it is.
go to that one right there in the hoodie. This is what I love the most. Check this one out. This is fucking funny.
Green Beret, Ranger, Sapper, Special Forces qualified sniper, everyone Rangers. I am a survival expert. Hence, my moccasins.
Where's the flood, dude?
I want to talk to you guys about a survival tool I never leave home without. What is that, you ask?
An iPad. What was book?
Written by Navy SEALs. Find yourself in the backcountry needing to start a fire? Fire starter.
Oh, you were saying, yeah, you can rip a page out. See, my mind immediately goes to clowning. I'm like, you should buy 3232s instead of 3234s and not have to
This
cuff them
guy's
so hard.
the ultimate clown, dude. He's like smoking a joint on his back porch every night, and it's like making posts at your mom's house.
Yeah, dude. I can always tell who are the serious survival guys that come in when I sit in the spot because they're always wearing flip flops, and all I can see is like the flip flops down here. I was like, that guy's for real.
This is the first podcast that I've done in flip flops and barefoot, dude. I think I'm going to start adopting
You're a
it.
spring boy right now.
I'm
Let's
going,
go,
dude. Let's go, dude. It's 60 degrees out.
I bought these Converse like 5 years ago. Never wore them, and then I like buy clothes and they sit in my closet. I'm like, it's your time. Like I bench a lot of clothes. I'm like, I'm not that stylish yet, but I'm gonna come to you. And then I finally pull it out, and I'm like, that's what it is.
Let's go. It's podcast night. It's corduroy,
Dude.
It's corduroy. Let's go.
I'm like born in the year of the snake, so I always have to like shed a skin every
Okay.
time. I know another season of Matty's happening because I cut the hair and got new glasses. So I'm like, okay, we have a new season coming up.
Dude, I cut my hair weekly, bro. Weekly.
I know you grow it like crazy. Do you have like that Pitbull shaver
No.
in their advertising?
No, I don't have any of that. I just go to the local barber, man. You know, I go for the Tito Ortiz mohawk.
You just shaves it hard?
Just fucking,
Let's go.
just hard.
I
Tight.
go to my boy Brandon. He's my in high school. He used to pick on me, and he felt so bad. Now he gives me cool deals on haircuts.
Hell yeah.
So I got the
Dude,
hookup
some of
now.
those barbers are getting expensive.
Dude,
like
it's like-
$50 for
that's
a
how much
fucking
this
haircut.
got.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Fuck that. I'll do it
but
myself.
I only get a haircut like once every 3 years. So
Yeah.
I let it grow, then I chop it, and I'll let it grow.
No, I should have been, with my hairstyle, I should have been a professional fighter, for sure.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I think about that when I go to like jujitsu classes. Everyone's got like short hair. I'm like, I gotta cut because the guys who does the thing where you have to go to his camp, but you have to cut your hair. Khabib makes you like cut your hair to a certain way if you like go train with
Oh,
him.
he's fucking Russian as fuck.
Yeah, they always like, make you cut your hair short.
There's I hate to admit it because I don't, just because of everything that's going on in the world, I try not to subscribe to Russian culture, I guess, at all. But have you heard Slaughter Prevail,
No,
that band? Pull them up real quick.
one of my
Tyler.
best friends ever is Russian. He's got like a thick Russian accent.
Fuck
He's like
yeah.
the nicest dude.
No, they're good dudes, man.
He lives in LA.
I think it's Slaughter Prevail, and I forget the lead singer's name. Actually, if you go to the save clips, I just sent it. Yes. Go to the lead singer. Is fucking amazing, dude.
One of these guys up here.
probably.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes. Go to that
Yeah,
page.
Terrible's crazy.
You know this dude? Look at this. Look at
He's
him on this
riding a
grizzly
bear?
bear. No, but listen to his voice. Make sure the volume's on. That's his natural voice, dude.
That's sick. That guy's sponsored by Ricola. Wow.
Yeah, this dude's
Fucking-
gnarly. This dude's gnarly.
He fucking smashes a microphone into his head every night to bleed. You know, like cuts himself like
got the
WWE star.
Elden Ring set up there.
Their music. If you're a metalhead,
Oh man, is that the guy from Limp Bizkit? That's the kind of band I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah, and my parents would
Like
just
a
have
Limp Bizkit type band?
or like middlecore. I was like like the whole time
Really?
on drums. Yeah,
Like double bass pedal?
double bass, just
Yeah. Let's go.
we were all in like high
Can
school.
we
had-
pull up any of that? Because
God,
that's
dude,
my style of music.
That
bro.
is lost on the internet.
Really?
It's on MySpace, and I try to find it, and I can never.
Is MySpace even still a thing?
It is, but like all the old music I've put up from like my bands in high school, I cannot find it.
Okay, Tyler, here's something. See if you can pull up my MySpace, dude.
Dude, MySpace does not work anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can.
It's like
Look up MySpace Bobby Marshall.
It's like coded in PHP. Like it's so hard to find. It's all
there is at one point there was like a gangster ring, like it was like underground type shit that was happening on it after it kind of died, right?
Dude, we could probably pull up some of my old
Two
stuff.
L's, two L's.
Oh, that was not going up. Oh, I didn't see that.
See, look, it doesn't even search. I've been trying to find my old stuff because my band still has music on here. Red, White, and Brutal.
So this is when I first started touring as like a tour manager, and I was touring with like former Sublime members, like Long Beach Dub All Stars, Pennywise. Like, there's some fucking
old school.
There's some incriminating shit on here. I'm sure,
See,
dude.
it does not search. I think they deleted all the personal pages and it's just bands now.
Really?
Yeah, like if it was search, I have a band on there from high school called Red, White, and Brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's go. That's a dope ass band, name,
Right?
dude.
Red, White, and Brutal.
Yeah.
And we had like 300 the Musical was one of our songs that was big on there. And it was like, this is Sparta. Like old school, like
Let's go.
metalcore, hardcore.
That's why I love you, dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you can find Red, White, and Brutal. Like MySpace does not search. I try to find this all the time.
That's awesome. Hey, the Avs are doing it right now.
Was it 5-3?
Yeah, 4:57 in the third, and it's 5-3.
Dude, you can't search on. Sometimes you have to like search on Google MySpace, Red, White, and Brutal.
Yeah, there was a minute there where it was like the black market for like drugs and all kinds
Like
of
the
shit,
Silk Road.
prostitution.
I don't even know if it's on here anymore. Dude, you'll never be able to
You know what's
find
crazy though? Like, what if YouTube becomes that at some point? Like,
Their
there's
infrastructure's too good.
yeah.
They got crazy coding and like.
Do you ever think
sinners.
about like one thing I've been thinking about is like
the internet goes offline for a day?
well, just like okay.
I think about that all the time.
For example, we've been doing some political shit lately, and whenever I do this political shit happens. Like stuff happens. So I don't know how much you've been on the Mountainside Podcast website, but everything that we have for the podcast now is a one-stop shop for the viewer to go to our website, and they can instantly on our page see the YouTube. They can listen to the podcast. All the shorts are there, the highlights, the blog that we write. Everything is on one page, right? It's a one-stop shop. You don't have to go to fucking Spotify. You don't have to go to Apple. You don't have to go to anywhere. You can still get it all there, but it's a one-stop shop where you can see everything, experience everything. All the links are there. All of our sponsors, like anything that you want is right there. The entire blog page got wiped.
Really?
100%
Like
on
offline?
last Saturday. Completely gone. Over 167 blogs that have written, completely deleted, that I have to go and replace.
What's the hosting platform? Squarespace?
Yep.
They have archival.
I'm dealing with them right now, but
I think you can go to like an archival.
it was sinister shit. Somebody hacked in.
We got hackers now?
They hacked into the Mountainside Podcast. Like if you go to the mountainsidepodcast.com,
Up there.
They call the city streets podcast coming after us.
Squarespace is an affiliate of ours. They can't even figure out where it came from. It's like a black
You got
fucking
DDoS attack, dude. That's how you know you're doing something
So
right.
go to episodes. So when you click on episodes, I've replenished some of these today, but this just happened over like the weekend. Go to Grant Neal's, click on that. So this is what we have now, right? So like the YouTube is the first thing that pops up. So you can watch the podcast, you can listen to the podcast, you can subscribe. Here's a little, the short little bio. Here's some of our sponsors that help support us. Here's all the shorts. Keep scrolling down. There's a blog in between the highlight. So like if you click in between the highlight and the shorts.
The arrow plus?
It's yep. So this is a short little description of kind of what we talked about, what we covered.
And all that got taken down?
So go down, go to the highlight, and then down below there's important links. Okay. I had this for every episode for the podcast. Go to episode, I think I replenished to like 140 today. Dude, it completely, everything got wiped. Everything.
I wonder if it's a code bug. Or someone's not going in there and hitting delete.
No, somebody went in there and hit delete. They don't know who it is. I didn't give them access, like.
Bastard.
I think it's because we had Dan Gates on.
Talking about wolves?
Yeah, the only other time, mountain lions.
It's that those wolf people.
It's the Democratic, like, fucking, I don't know, man. I hate to say it. It's the left, dude. It's somebody on the left.
I don't condone. My parents are staunch hippies, liberals. I was raised that way.
There's a difference, man. Like, those are people that genuinely care about people, and I think what else is going on is something more sinister, man. Like, I don't understand. So go back one page, like to the top arrow.
Dude, if I know one thing about liberal people, they do not know how to work the internet. My parents call me all the time for like, how do I
it's not
this thing?
No, it's something bigger than that. So keep scrolling down. Go to
Kamosi?
No, I think I replenished this. Go to Michael Pintar. Boom. It's gone. We cannot find this page.
Well, that's not a deletion. That's just a code error.
No, they deleted it. Like I've been on with Squarespace.
Well, there's archival. We might be able to fix that easily.
They're working on it. Luckily, I had it backed up because I'm not a fucking dummy.
Good.
But it's wild. So all these podcasts right now, if people are going to our website and...
Well, then just go to YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe.
It's still there.
Well, damn, bro.
Should we wrap it?
We hit diminishing returns.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Thank
Matt,
you, Bobby.
I love you, brother. I'm so happy that you're involved. Our viewers are happy. And I love doing these podcasts where it's just me and the homies hanging out.
Yeah, this is good.
They're fucking great.
I think we just made more questions than gave answers.
100%.
Which is good.
Let's go. If you got any questions, DM Matty Ghost.
Matty Ghost and everything. Just stream my music.
Don't throw any more in his fucking plate.
If you guys need edits, ask me. I gotta practice saying no.
Yeah, just say no. Just say no.
Just say no.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.